minutes. Tickets is at ThunderValleyResort.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at sacktownsports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
If I didn't know better, I'd say Kyle Draper has that smile on his face that suggests A, he went to Santa Cruz this weekend, or B, he's excited about the Eagles draft. Maybe both. I don't know.
And C. There's a C also.
Oh, really?
I'm excited. I got my girl Simone behind the board. She's like, Drapes, I want to hear about your basketball game. Did you hit the over or under? And so I'm happy Simone is here. Anytime I can talk about my skills, I want to do that. Let's talk. Let's break it down real quick, basketball-wise.
Because she took the under when she was here.
And it was 8.5 was the number.
Yeah.
I finished with 6. I finished with 6, Simone, and I didn't tell this story the other day, Whitey, but I got to tell it. My teammates might be listening now, so if they do, I apologize, fellas. We're down by 10.
Uh-huh.
And it's like 30 seconds left. I get the ball. You ever see a player, like the videos where a guy misses a shot and then like Gary Payton II's over on the bench like, ooh, like he got money on the over-under or something.
Yeah.
Well, I heaved up this 3. It was an awful shot. And I only shot it for one reason, because I needed to hit the over. I missed the shot, but as I was shooting it, I'm like, I got to pull this. I got to shoot this.
Wow.
Because if I make this, it's 9. I missed the shot.
The commissioner of the Lifetime League, if he's listening, there's going to be an investigation.
Me and Jonte Porter, man, I'm telling you. So, Simone, I was thinking about you as I took my final 3 just because I wanted to hit the over, and I missed the shot, man. So I was bummed by that.
I'm sorry.
I was bummed by
it sounds like you still have fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's important.
It was fun. I got the cardio in. We lost, but I'll be back on Thursday at 7.
Yeah.
7 o'clock game on Thursday, prime time. So
it was funny, Simone, because after his first game, we didn't talk about it right away. When we finally did, I think somebody on the chat asked about it. He's like, I wondered when you're going to bring that up. Yeah, it was great. So Friday, we started the show with it. He's like, oh, I didn't know you guys are going to ask me about that. It wasn't very good.
I smell an endorsement. I mean, this guy's going to start pulling up with all kinds of endorsements on the jersey, on the tees. And I can't wait.
Right?
Yes.
Ooh, I never even thought about that.
Alsco,
Part of it.
something.
Alsco, uniforms.
Yeah.
Right?
Mercedes-Benz of Stockton.
I might sell myself out like that. Somebody in the 831 Drapes out here point shaving. Yeah, kind of. It was the reverse one. Like, I was actually trying to make the shot. And the clock was winding. It was like 10 seconds. And it was one of those, if the YouTube chat, if they're watching, it was one of these, like, catching, like, falling away.
Well,
like,
but see, you guys are down 10. You need 3
right.
threes.
That's
there
what
and a lot of luck.
exactly. So it was
That's actually smart.
It was a smart play. But in my mind, I said, I need to get this bucket.
Unselfish.
Yeah. Just because of Simone laughing at me for the under.
No one's laughing.
Yeah.
Davion, we need you.
Yeah, I was.
You're a piece.
It was rough. My boy Campio has a good idea for an endorsement. Icy hot.
Yeah.
Because I'm still sore.
Sure.
The game was last Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
It's Monday, and I'm still sore. But other than that, Whitey, it was a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles won the draft. By all accounts, not just me being a homer. Everybody says the Eagles knocked it out of the park. I went down to Santa Cruz and Capitola with the kids. So I'm in a great mood right now.
Did you go to the boardwalk?
Went to the boardwalk. Spent way too much money. I don't know why I do this.
Oh, they get you with the stuff like, oh, let's go on this ride. Okay, but you got to get the wristband.
I should have just bought the season pass.
Yeah.
And then I bought the wristband for me, my daughter, and my son. $200 something. But we were only there for like 4 hours, though. Like, we rode like 4 rides or something, 5 rides. And so.
But you can't put a price on
memories,
fun.
right? Memories.
Yeah.
They'll always remember that.
What do you think of this? A lesson for the Kings, perhaps, because the 2 teams they fought with for the 6th spot are, done and almost
about to be done.
Yeah.
Is
kind
this
of a lesson there?
Is that a lesson, or is it darn it? We should have been that kind of lesson. Like, we could have did better than these jokers. I'm waking up pissed off. Phoenix is done. Pelicans about to be done. Pelicans look like they were championship contenders against us.
Yes.
And then, it's just they go against OKC and all of a sudden they look like the Pistons out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do we lose to these jokers?
Yeah, I was watching.
How these guys finish ahead of us?
Watching with some people, and they're like, okay, that's the team that beat the Kings
right
6 times. Like, no, you don't understand. They're way better than that when they play the Kings.
Right.
CJ McCollum never misses.
And when you look at it, too, think about the last 3 teams in. Phoenix, New Orleans, Lakers. They may only win 1 game. Lakers are the only, the other 2 could get swept.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, we could have did better than that. At least we would have, stole a game maybe or something like that. Like, I thought the West was so tough. It's not looking tough at all right now. Like, the bottom half of the West is looking suspect right now.
Yeah, I understand that. To me, the lesson on top of that is if you want to not only get into the postseason, but you want to do some damage, then you got to be a lot better than you were this year because you finished behind all those teams, just barely.
Right.
And look what's happening to them. So to me, if there's a lesson there, that's the lesson. But I think everybody already knew that.
Yeah, but there is some good news to come out of all this. Remember, we talked last week, I think it was, about going into next season, and the West is going to get more difficult, and it is. But one team we should not have to worry about next season is the Phoenix Suns. They're going to take a step back because they're going to blow it up. They're going to make some trades. They're going to do something. They can't just run it back. And so I think Phoenix may, I don't want to say punt, but they may start looking to acquire draft picks, may start building for the future where they take a step back, get rid of a Durant, get rid of a Brad Beal, and maybe just build around Booker and young assets.
Some of the problems with that potentially are Brad Beal. Guess what? He still has no trade clause.
Yeah, but he'll want to come to Sacramento, right?
Well, but I already checked this out. I can get for, not that I'd want to get rid of any of these guys, but Davion, Sasha, Herter, and HB, I can get Kevin Durant here.
Would you want Kevin Durant? The way you're talking like you want to do this deal right now. Who would you rather have right now? Let me ask you this, and we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant and everything you got to give up to get him, or Bradley Beal at a cheaper cost?
I think Bradley Beal is overrated.
Is this how we starting to show off?
Is
this what we're going to do here? We're talking about a former All-Star.
Yeah.
But that's that. The Suns have bigger problems than Bradley Beal.
He's a good player, but he's overrated. People think of him as some elite player. And to me, he's not. He's never proven to me that he is anything other than, he's a really good player. He's an all-star. But he has a reputation that I think exceeds his actual ability. I actually wouldn't want to have anything to do with either one of them because Durant right now, it's like no matter where he is, he's like, he didn't like it here.
Yeah, he doesn't seem happy at all, no matter where he goes, right?
And he had a great year this year.
He did. The numbers were there. He had a great game yesterday, but he doesn't seem happy. Didn't seem happy in Brooklyn. Didn't seem happy here. And, I was listening to Sirius XM NBA radio, and one thing they said is that, and I totally agree with this, Kevin Durant's utopia was in Golden State. The way they play, the people around them, the talent, the competing for championships, the pressure's off of you. You're not viewed as the guy. He had it all in Golden State and pissed it away because he wanted to go hang with his boys in Brooklyn. And so it's him making these decisions. He wanted to go to Phoenix. That's backfired as well. Here's why I'd rather have Bradley Beal. First of all, Brad Beal's 30 years old. Second of all, he's coming here to be your third or fourth option. And I understand the price tag with his salary and his contract is way up there. But from a basketball standpoint, you can't tell me that Bradley Beal would not be an upgrade at the 2-guard spot.
Oh, he would be. Yeah, there's no question he'd be an upgrade.
And so I'm ignoring the salary part because the money is the money. All right, let's say you don't get Bradley Beal. Well, what are you going to use that money on? It's not like you could get a comparable player, using that money. And so he's a 2-time All-Star. I would like Bradley Beal.
How much is it? Isn't it close to 50?
Yes.
Are we talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I understand your point. But, of course, the reality is if you do that, then it just limits what else you can do.
What else can you do right now? I feel like they are limited right now. And I feel like the only way to get better is to make a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're talking Bradley Beal, we mentioned the money. We were talking about Zach LaVine last week also.
Mm-hmm.
That's a money situation.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Jeremy Grant's contract isn't, nice and sweet.
You're right.
He's $30+ million.
No
too.
question.
So no matter who we get, it's going to be a contract. It's going to be a hefty contract that you take on.
Well, they may have some interest. Like I said, I would not be that interested. But remember last year when it came out that the Wizards were willing to trade him, the Kings inquired. There were reports that they asked. Now, maybe they were just,
right.
Hey, what the heck? Let's see what's up. But they did. According to reports, they actually expressed some interest in Bradley Beal. The thing is with the Suns, and I know who cares about the Suns, we're worried about the Kings, but the Suns have like very few options.
They have zero assets.
They don't
Drafts.
have their exceptions.
Right. No picks.
They traded their picks. Like, wow. Yeah. They just cannot do a lot.
If let's say we did make a trade with them, whether it's Brad Beal, Kevin Durant, whoever, that would be throwing them sort of a lifeline too.
Uh-huh.
That would be helping them
Yeah,
out. Because,
assuming they'd get some picks.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because then assuming they get some picks. Because right now the cupboards are bare. Their assets that they do have, their player assets, are undervalued right now. Like, when you look at Kevin Durant and the haul they had to give up, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, 4 firsts, and a pick swap. There's no way you're getting that right now for Kevin Durant.
No.
How much would you give up for Kevin Durant right now? Couple picks? Would you give up a player like Keegan Murray at this stage?
No.
I don't know if I would. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, Phoenix, they have depreciating assets on their roster right now.
That's a franchise that to me clearly suffered this year from new owner syndrome, where a new owner comes in and thinks, we'll just go out and get the best players. This can't be that hard, and it is much more complicated. As Devin Booker said after the game, he said, it's the details that matter.
Yeah. It's hard building a champion because I think your star players are just as important as your role players. You got to get those right. But, when you bring up new owner syndrome, I'll go back to Mikhail Prokhorov in Brooklyn when they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Got the flashy names, paired them with Joe Johnson, and that flamed out. That was an awful trade. And so that's where Phoenix is right now.
So we'll see if the Kings can maybe scoop and score this offseason. When we come right back, the NBA's changing of the guard and forward and center. It's happening right before our eyes. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
The Timberwolves complete the sweep. They win a playoff series for the first time in 20 years. Minnesota on to the second round.
First time in 20 years, Drapes. I'm trying to think who Minnesota beat the last time they went playoff.
Remember that?
I do.
2004?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Our good old Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Man,
that was no bueno. It looks like, you got KD now gone, LeBron on the verge of being out, no Steph Curry, and you got guys like Ant-Man. And, and you got some bright young stars coming into their own and seizing control of the game. Are we seeing a changing of the guard? New faces coming in and taking over the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I think so. I think, it's interesting. When we were coming up, Whitey, players used to be in their prime 27, 28, 29. Now, 22, 23, 24, 25. Like, your prime starts earlier.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last, like, when we were growing up, outside of Magic, like the game's great Michael, like the really superstars, when do we see young players dominate the league?
It was really unusual for a young player to be good. It was like, my goodness.
Right. To come in, and you're talking about Anthony Edwards, arguably being the face of the league, just being the best player in the series with Durant and Beal and Booker and easily mopping the floor with them. Mm-hmm. You look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now about to advance to the second round. He's a young star. I could throw Luka in that mix as well. And then you look at Boston with Tatum. It is
Orlando.
Yeah. It is a changing of the guard. I mean, no Steph. And I was talking to my son about this last night. I'm like, dude, think of all the great players that are like out or about to be out. After tonight, there might not be no Jimmy Butler, no Bam Adebayo, no LeBron James, no Anthony Davis, obviously no Steph, KD. Like, a lot of the game's greats are out or about to be out, and it's a young boys game. And the thing about it too, Whitey, my last point on this, these young guys are taking it. Like, they respect their elders, yes, but they aren't intimidated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when they step on the floor, speaking specifically of Anthony Edwards, he believes he's better than Kevin Durant, and he's showing it. I love the young guys of today.
And I'm wondering if this actually changes the way teams are put together. Case in point, the Thunder, youngest team in the league and the number 1 seed. And, they're legit. I don't know if they're going to get to the finals, but, other teams, I think you have to keep that in mind when you're putting your team together and you're looking at your window, right? And your timetables, like, man, those guys are all really young. They're going to be together a long time. And like we said, Orlando is not as accomplished, but similar way they put their team together. A lot of really good young players.
Yeah.
So that also illustrates the way Phoenix did it, how treacherous that can be.
Yeah. And, to your point, the building a big three, those days are done. Like, making trades, trying to cobble it together, the LeBron James teaming with this guy and this guy, those days I think are done.
Yeah.
I think you got to grow it organically, because talent just doesn't win championships anymore. Usually the most talented team wins, but now it really is back to being a team. Like, you look at Denver, they're a team. You look at what Minnesota, even SGA and OKC, they're a team, and they fit well. It's not just about the stars anymore.
That's why Phoenix ultimately had no chance against Minnesota, because they've been through this now. Last year, Minnesota, they were like, but they got better to the point where this year's like they do things, and they've been through this as a team in a way that you guys, even though you got Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, you cannot match them.
Right, exactly. And think about this too, Whitey, when we talk about Kevin Durant. He tried that in Brooklyn with James Harden and Kyrie. That failed miserably. He tried it in Phoenix. That's failing miserably. And so if I'm a young star, because now there's talk, and Stephen A. Smith went on First Take this today and said, I'm hearing Devin Booker might want to go to New York. I think that's hogwash, first of all. If I'm Devin Booker, first of all, I think Kevin Durant will be gone. And I also think Bradley Beal will be gone, even with the no trade. Bradley Beal's not happy there in Phoenix. And so if I'm Devin Booker, I'm entrusting the organization. I'm maybe recruiting some guys that better fit what you can do, but they need to make some changes there in Phoenix. But I'm not just pairing up with that guy,
right.
and it's just going to all of a sudden work, because it hasn't worked since what?
Maybe the Heat.
The Heat, LeBron and the Heat.
Those weren't just three guys that were pretty good.
Right, exactly. And the thing about the Heat, and Antonio Daniels, our great friend who comes on the show from time to time, said this earlier today. It didn't work with the Heat until they had a pecking order, until they said, all right, LeBron, it's your team. Phoenix, whose team is it? Who's the alpha on that team?
Well, it seems like it's Booker, and it seems like KD kind of acknowledged that should be the case, but at the same time, he wasn't happy about it.
Right. When you watch him play, it doesn't feel like that, right?
Yeah.
And so
Durant had a great year this year.
He really did. He had a tremendous year, and he's still an elite scorer. But I don't know, in the same way with LeBron James, and I've gone on record, I'm a big LeBron fan. I think he's the GOAT. But he cannot single-handedly win a series. Kevin Durant cannot single-handedly be the best player and lead your team to a series anymore, a series win anymore. I think these guys can still get their numbers. I think they could still have a major impact. But at their age, LeBron 39, Kevin Durant 35, 36, it's too much load for them to carry.
By the way, did you happen to notice, I looked this up today, do you know what LeBron shot from the three-point line this year? He shot 41%.
Yeah, no, he was great. Yes.
Whoa.
He was great from three-point range. Like, he tweaked his shot, I think, in the offseason. But no, he's been tremendous.
Now, speaking of the young studs that are coming into their own, maybe taking over as faces of the league, let's be honest, one of the guys that I think fans around the country would look at and put in that category is Tyrese Halliburton.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know if you know Jeff Pearlman, he's the guy that wrote the
Laker
books that became the shows. And on Twitter, I follow him on Twitter, and he was like this weekend, like a lot of people's like, look, serious question. What should the Kings have traded him? And I tried to explain, well, yeah, they kind of had to and blah, blah, blah. But, a lot of people are looking at that. And we're going to hear that for a long time around here, even though we all know why the Kings should have done it.
Right. And this is, you got to give Tyrese his flowers.
Yeah.
The guy's tremendous. He hit the game winner the other day against the Milwaukee Bucks, one win away from eliminating the Bucks now. I think he's great, man. I think he is a guy that you build your team around. And think about this, Whitey. When they made the trade, obviously, Indiana was still rebuilding. But the move to get Pascal Siakam and go all in really has helped them out. And they're, about to be on the precipice of the second round of the playoffs. Now, if you're Sacramento and the word was Pascal wouldn't re-sign here, whatever, man, if we could have got him, where would we have been at? And so I don't fault Indiana for going all in, especially when you're a small market that's not going to attract free agents, really. And now you have a centerpiece of Tyrese and Pascal that you should be top 5, top 6 in the East for years to come, I think. They're top. They're fun to watch, too. And let's not forget, they're missing their stud second-year player, Benedict Mathurin, as well, who, had a tremendous year. And so I like what Indiana's doing right now.
I'll tell you one thing I was feeling really good about yesterday was the fact that Friday I told Kings fans, hey, the team you should get on board with is the Knicks, because they got the most former Kings still on the roster, and they're fun in this series. And I know the Knicks are, they're New York and Tibbs and all that, but this is a scrappy bunch, and I like the way they play.
Did you watch that game yesterday at all?
Yeah.
That it was. I don't want to say it was just playoff, like it was NBA Finals, like the atmosphere. It was great. The haymakers,
a lot of
Knick fans in there taking over Philly, which had me upset along with Joel Embiid. But that was a tremendous game, and give Jalen Brunson credit, man. I went to college with his dad, Rick Brunson. Great kid, great family, and he's putting him on his back, like 47-10 yesterday. And I'll be honest. It used to be this narrative, the league is better when the Lakers and Knicks are good. It's fun having the Knicks back.
It is.
It might be borderline annoying now, watching Stephen A. Smith every morning. It's like, all right, dude, but having the Knicks back, it's fun.
I would like to see them end up taking on the Celtics.
Ooh, Knicks Celtics,
yeah.
Old school rivalry.
Yeah, I don't like the Knicks' chances, but I'd like to see it.
That would be a major matchup. And what's that? The two that would be 1-2. So they'd be in the conference finals. That would have to happen. Man, think about this. And New York and Philly only separated by about an hour and a half. So Knicks fans could just zip right down and take over. Now you go up to Boston, and those Boston fans are heated too. Like, that's old school rivalries, man, that we grew up with.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
exactly.
Yep.
There's a lot of players in the NBA and in life in general, and they think they're playing hard, and they don't really know that you're not really playing as hard as you think. And the guy that I would point to is Josh Hart. He plays hard.
That dude plays hard every single game. Tibbs got him playing 46 minutes a night and everything, but he lays it all on the line. And, this is interesting as we talk about the Eastern Conference and watching what Tyrese is doing out there in Indiana. I'm looking at the 916. Tyrese is just another example of Sacramento ineptitude. I know we had to do the trade, Whitey, but is this one where we look back and say, dang, this just, like, I get it. You had to break up. You had to do that. But it's like seeing your ex go on and be happy with, Jeff Bezos, a billionaire or something like that. It's like, dang.
If the Kings continue, on their ascent, then it's like there'll be some of that, but it won't matter. And if the Kings don't, for whatever reason, and Indiana does, then we're going to hear it. You know that.
I know that, man. And I love Tyrese, but I'll be honest with you. I don't want him to succeed because I know what comes with it. It's like, oh, man, that's our guy, and he's partying and succeeding with somebody else.
2 years, Pacers Kings finals. Right?
Okay, I'm all for that. Let's go. Let's go. And we know Fox will cook Tyrese like we've seen before. So,
209. Refresh our memory. Why did we keep Fox and not Halliburton? Fox was a lot harder to trade, frankly, and Halliburton was a easier guy to deal.
Yeah.
So there we are, and we move on with this, the biggest surprise of the playoffs so far. What do you got? Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
When you hear the words, the whole store is on sale, if you're like me, you're thinking, this is worth my attention. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word or two about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now, Naturewood's whole store is on sale during their exceptional home sale. Now your mind is probably doing backflips trying to decide where to start. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Or maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, or accents and accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide home sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stickley, Artisan Home, Stanton, Flex Steel, Omnia, and all the rest of our award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable home sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats!
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Embiid misses, and that will do it. The Knicks hang on in Game 4 and take a commanding 3-1 series lead.
Yeah, that had that, as Drapes pointed out, that real playoff vibe going. So did the game last night with the Suns trying to stave off elimination. Didn't work. Timberwolves moving on. And by the way, for what it's worth, all the best to Coach Finch of the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
was ugly, right?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that.
I haven't
Just
either.
a freak play.
Uh-huh.
And then, for him to go down and it be as serious as it is, I'm like, it had to just hit at the right angle and take him out at the right angle, man.
Yeah. Torn patellar tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking him being a coach, and what was there, like a minute 14 left or a minute
Something
left?
like that.
He's
Yeah.
probably like, get me off the floor. We got to win. Get me.
Right.
I don't want anything to turn the momentum.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Let's go. Keep this clock running. So
Now they get some time off.
yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, they're done playing and they got to wait for the
No,
other
but I'm
series.
saying even if the Nuggets wrap it up tonight, do they play? Yeah. That series isn't starting till Saturday, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why they got that much time off? Minnesota to Denver's not that far.
Sweep, baby.
I
You're going to have to take
guess.
that time somewhere.
Yeah, I guess you're going to have to make it up
Yeah,
somewhere
I know
at
what you
some
mean.
point. But
Yeah.
it's like, man, 4 days off potentially for the Nuggets if they win tonight. 5 days off for the at least 5.
Right.
Don't let the Lakers win.
Right.
Then
Yeah, and
the
I know
Wolves
that-
ain't going to play till next week sometime.
Yeah. And I know that wouldn't be a gentleman's sweep. It'd be not a legitimate sweep for Denver. But by the way, Jokic, we didn't mention him. We're talking about the young players taking over the league. And I know he's not young.
Yeah.
But, he's kind of in that Giannis
That
in
new guard.
between,
Yeah.
Kind of straddling both eras.
Yeah, it's him, a little bit of Giannis. Is Embiid in that mix too?
Yeah.
You look at Tatum and Brown, obviously, I think they're 25 and 26 now. And so these are the guys that'll be running the next decade.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw Wembanyama in there too, because he's coming up. And so we got the face of the NBA here for the next decade. It won't be the KDs, LeBrons, and Stephs. Those guys are on their way out. It's the new guard right now.
Did you see what Windhorst had to say about the Spurs?
Nah, what did he say?
He says, and I just read the story. I didn't actually check the video.
Yeah.
He says the Spurs they're gonna add a superstar.
A superstar?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who's available.
I don't know.
Trae Young?
I don't know. I
There's
wanted to
been
ask
some
you and
Trae Young
Jay
talk.
because we were talking about superstars. What's a superstar? Can you be a superstar and then you get to a point where you're not anymore? Is Chris Paul a superstar anymore?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I don't know the answer, and everybody has their own definition. To me, once you're a superstar, that's usually not something that you give back.
I'm gonna throw Chris Paul still a superstar.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with basketball. Got the State Farm commercials, kids, and everybody know who he is. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him a superstar.
You know, it's funny, fellas. I was thinking about this past weekend, and because of Kawhi, and I was trying to figure it out. Like, is Kawhi still considered, a superstar? Chris Paul, I think he's a superstar off the court.
Right.
I think he's, on the court, not so much. But I guess that means what? Like, what do we call that?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you call a superstar off the court? Because there's also been people who have been bigger stars, in movies and things like that, but haven't had the, success on the field, on the court type situation.
Is true superstardom something that you ever give up? Because to me, it's like, once you're a superstar, no matter what, it's like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, he's a superstar. I don't know. But anyway,
when your skills diminish,
yeah.
Can you still
I was wondering if, I think back when I was a kid and like everyone used to say, Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle, and I was like, those guys are horrible. Because they were good before I was born.
Talking about Willie Mays on the Mets.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
But he was already to say, "Hey, kid."
Yes,
right. He was already great. I think if I hear the going, I hear you barking up the tree. I think you can be a superstar still. The persona. I think you still can be a superstar, through the persona, but not so much as through your play.
Do you think Chris Paul might be the guy he's talking about? Do you think, forget what he's talking about. Chris Paul to Spurs, does that make any sense?
No, it does not. I mean, from a basketball standpoint, putting in but it's a short-term fix in San Antonio.
Yeah.
I think, what's more likely, and I've heard, this being rumored out there, as I watch, all the shows and search the internet, Trae Young. They might try and go after Trae Young. I heard San Antonio or the Lakers when it comes to Trae Young. Yep. That, Atlanta might be ready to move off of Trae Young, and it doesn't seem like they're going to move off DeJounte Murray. So I could see Trae Young. And they got history, haven't done a deal for DeJounte Murray.
Sure.
So
Trae Young just seems like the most unspurs-like player, one of the most unspurs-like players I can think of. Not in terms of anything off court, he's a wonderful guy, but just in terms of the way he plays, that just doesn't seem like Spurs basketball to me.
But him and Wemby,
Wemby going,
the
give
potential.
Me the ball. Stop shooting, give me the ball.
No, but Trae's actually an elite passer too. Like, people don't let the shooting numbers and the deep threes fool you. He's one of the best lob throwers in this game right now. Like, I would, if I'm San Antonio, I'm kicking the tires on Trae Young.
I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Oh, check it. TC is with us.
An early TC.
What's up, TC?
Yes, sir. Check it out, man. I'm early with it. Jay, Whitey, Drake, what's going on?
Chilling, man. What's up?
What do you got for us?
Hey, just vibing. Hey, look, I'm with y'all, man. Listen, Monty is on the phone right now finna make a move, man. I promise you. I don't know. Listen, the names are getting juicy, bro, but I really think it's going to be Paul George or Zach LaVine the sack. But I'm not opposed to, like you, Drake, I'm not opposed to Bradley Beal. Man, look, this whole fan base, everybody was happy when we were almost supposed to get the deal done last year, but now everybody want to say no to Beal. If Beal come to sack, bro, man, that's instantly making us instantly 50 games. Period, point blank. Even with Paul George, big dog. The move is coming this summer. I promise you, and I know Kings fans don't want to hear this, and I love it. I love the whole Keegan Murray. I love Keegan, bro. But, him being untouchable, it might be off the table this summer, bro, depending on the name. I'm going to keep it short today. That's all I got.
All right, TC.
Yeah, TC says, let's make a Beal.
Check it.
Yeah. I'm with him on Keegan, and I don't want to get rid of Keegan, but I see it the way TC does.
What about, go ahead, Whitey.
No. I understand what he's saying. Maybe Keegan is an untouchable. I don't know that I can go into this offseason
with that same.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Beal's numbers. 18.2 points per game this year. 43% from three. He had a pretty good year.
How many games did he play? 17?
He played 53 this year. Remember, he was hurt to start the season, but he would be an upgrade for us.
There's no question.
And here's the
no
question, though. And we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If you're Monte McNair and you see what's happening in the West, Minnesota, OKC, does this put more pressure on you to maybe do something that you weren't as comfortable doing a year ago? Like, do you got to take a few more risks now?
I think so.
Because you can't just hope that another year together it develops. You got to swing, and you got to get somebody that actually moves the needle too. Like, I don't want just a role player coming off the bench to improve this team. When we talk about it, we're talking probably 2 starters you need, at least one, right? I mean, it depends on what happens to Malik and if you move in, but I feel like you got to upgrade the starting lineup.
Perfect world. I mean, if you're really like being serious about upgrading, you need a 2-guard and you need somebody in the front court.
There you go. Let's talk about some names there. Who's legitimately can fill a starting 2-guard role out there? Zach LaVine, TC mentioned, Bradley Beal. I'd have to look at the rest of the list and see who else is out there, but I don't think it's a lot out there for you right now.
DeRozan's a free agent, but
yeah.
Bradley Beal may be the best choice, and it may come down to that. Like, Monty may have to go, all right, this guy is the best choice. He's not ideal, but I've got to do something now, which is a terrible way to, make a decision like that. But they're at the point where they're going to have to do something.
They're going to have to do something. Exactly. Because De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis are in their prime right now. We're talking about building with them and maximizing what they can give us. This isn't in 3 years or 4 years. It has to happen now. We can't wait another year. I mean, and you also got to remember De'Aaron Fox's contract situation too. I think De'Aaron has 2 more years left. I think it is. After this season, I'll have to look it up, and he's going to get the bag. He's going to get the max. And, does he want to re-sign here if you're not putting together, a championship level contender? Like, this upcoming offseason is the most important one for Monte McNair since he's been here.
I'm still not all the way in with you and TC, but I see what you guys are saying. And if I could get Beal, it would cost a lot. I'd have to pay a lot. I'd have to give up a lot to get him. But if I could bring him in and keep Keegan, I think that's a much improved roster next year, or at least my starting lineup. I think I'm feeling a lot better about that. But I don't know.
I know. See,
Beal is.
It only took 41 minutes, and I got him coming a little bit.
Beal.
I know, Whitey, but just take the name off of it. Just look at the production. I understand he didn't play a whole lot of games, 53 games, I think it was.
Do you know their plan was for him to be a point guard?
But he's not a point guard. But that's why I think playing off of Domantas Sabonis, the looks that Bradley Beal will get, come on, man. And I know he's not no great defender. I watched Anthony Edwards just torch him yesterday, but the guy can stroke the ball. 43% from 3 this year. I'm convincing myself that Bradley Beal might be the answer for us.
Are you more convinced on Bradley Beal right now than you were at the deadline on DeJounte Murray?
No, I love DeJounte Murray. That's my guy. DeJounte Murray, I would do in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I love DeJounte Murray.
When we come back, we'll get to your calls, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, and why the Thunder hung a TNT reporter out to dry.
Oh, yeah.
Next on Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. Laporte is over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Guys, are you still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers guaranteed low T and ED treatments, and this month only, qualified patients get a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. Availability is limited. Book your free exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. M43024.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit ZachLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Justice League. The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Drapes, I'm not sure how to feel about this. You tell me, you're the TV guy. So after the Thunder pushed the Pelicans to the brink of elimination, what's her, Allie Force?
Allie LaForce.
She's
Yeah,
getting ready
yeah.
to talk to Jalen Williams. And then right before they're going to go on, he goes, oh, hold on a second, wait a second. And he leaves. And she's like, I don't know what's going on. He told me to wait a second. And he goes and joins the rest of his teammates, and they're all doing the local OKC Thunder TV interview
with my guy Nick Gallo.
Yeah,
Yes.
and she's over there going, well, let me see. I'll do some investigative reporting. She walks over there in the huddle, and they're all ignoring her. And then Kevin Harlan says, well, thanks, Allie. That's good for their team. And we've got the other game coming up. Did they leave Allie LaForce out to dry there or what?
I loved it.
Did you?
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was awesome. I thought, that's what they should do. The OKC broadcast team, they've been with them for 82 plus games. They've been there all season long. Allie LaForce just swoops in, TNT swoop in, and all of a sudden they get all the access and all the interviews. Screw that. Forget that. I love that. Eventually she got her interview. They came back and did the interview, but I'm all for that. It reminds me of time, Whitey. I was covering high school football, state championship game in Louisville, Kentucky. Game is over. Coach is running off the field. He has a press conference, but I'm trying to get the one-on-one interview. Coach running off the field. Coach, can you stop it? And can I get a quick interview? He's like, sorry, man, I got to go inside. I said, Coach, don't do that to me. I've been with you all season long since day one. I've been at the practices. I've been at the games. He said, you know what? You're right. And he stopped and he did the interview with me. Same thing with Allie LaForce and him yesterday. And, I hate it. And I've voiced this frustration. When the Mark Steins of the world come into town, they ain't been here all season long. All 82 games, crickets. Then all of a sudden, playing time, you want to come to our games. Get out of here, man. You know what? Put their credentials way at the top. They don't get premium seats. Put them way at the top. We've been there since day one. We were in training camp. We were in the shoot-arounds. We were in the practices. Stick with what got you there, not these big wigs that just try and fly into town.
Amen.
So I was A-okay with it yesterday.
I understand all that. I just felt bad for her because it wasn't her doing. She's like, and he's right at the last minute. He's like, hold on a second. Just as they're going to her.
I got an Allie LaForce story.
Yeah? Well, you got to tell it now.
Yeah. Never mind. Moving on. I'm not gonna put her out there like that because I like Allie. She's nice. I'm not gonna do that. I shouldn't even said anything. I apologize. She's sweet. I like Allie a lot.
I'll have to get her on the show, Jay.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys off camera, off air, okay?
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, Gary has been hanging on to talk with the Drive guys. Hello, Gary. What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good.
What's up, Gary?
I just wanted to talk some free agency, man. I like some pointers and some names you guys threw out there. I've always been a fan of Debo, DeMar DeRozan joining our team forever. I feel like Kings fans been waiting for him, or a person like Zach LaVine, somebody who could get, the whistle a little bit easier than our guys, because, we can't get a call around here. But I definitely, in the front court, man, we need a 7-footer, man, maybe a young athletic guy who can, maybe do, what Sabonis does, but maybe even on a little bit of a, better level. Somebody like Larry Nance or like Obi Toppin, I feel like, to play that role on our team, instead of maybe Barnes. And I feel like we should trade Herter, man, and get somebody good back for him and sign Monk, obviously. But I do feel like we need to address the wing and the front court with, I like somebody like Lauri Markkanen also. I feel like he could stretch the floor for us and, would fit in with our team really well. Let me know what you guys think. But,
all right,
Debo, I would definitely love on our team. I think that would be a nice pickup. Or I know Phoenix struggled. One point I did want to touch on, man, I am not in the favor of Bradley Beal. That guy can score, but he does not play defense. I feel like he won't fit good with us. I much rather take DeMar DeRozan over Bradley Beal any day.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, so Gary wants to sign DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine,
you got
Obi
the list.
Toppin,
Lauri Markkanen.
Larry Nance. Yeah. I think that would help.
That would do it.
They'd be much
better.
The
deepest team in the league. You get all those guys. I mean, you want to shoot all those down or what?
No Bradley Beal.
He right. I'll take everybody else, but no Bradley Beal.
I'm with him on that. Chris, Sacktown Sports. Hello, Chris. What's up? Chris. Have we lost Chris?
Chris.
Bye-bye, Chris.
All right.
Crickets for Chris. Steven, Sacktown Sports. Hey, Steven. What's going on?
All right, Chris cannot be here because you guys are just make a way for greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There we go.
Anyway, I got two questions for you. One question is kind of off topic because you know me, man. You know I'm always out here derailing things. What's the loudest crowd pop you've ever physically heard in person? I kind of have an idea about you, Whitey, but with you, Kyle Draper, you've been around the block a couple times, so I'm kind of curious to know what that is. Second of all, Bradley Beal, he's damaged goods, man. He could do it. He could make it. He could probably make it happen. But that man has been injured more so than my freaking 68-year-old grandmother, man. So, I mean, I just don't see how he will fit the timeline personally. Granted, dude, I'm just a casual. I'm not a play-by-play guy. I can't be like, Bill D. Stats out here. So it's more of just feel for me. I just don't feel like he fits the timeline. I feel like he's too injured. He didn't even last an entire year without. I mean, he played 56 games, but the hype behind him was just was so great, and then it just fell off a cliff.
Gotcha, Steve.
Anyway, loudest crowd pop you guys have ever heard personally.
Thank you. We'll answer that. Yeah. By the way, to Steven's point, it's hard to find anybody that the Kings could go out and get who's going to fit the timeline. Really,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And the timeline with Bradley Beal, he's 30. Yeah. Like I think timeline is right now. I mean, who are you going to find? You're not going to find a 25, 26-year-old star. Those just don't come available.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Loudest crowd pop, I'd say probably Game 5, Mike Bibby's jump shot against the Lakers in the conference finals.
Okay.
2002.
I think for me, I still go back to Game 1, Kings Warriors last year when they ran out to the floor. I don't know if that counts as game pop or not, but that was. I also remember. It's like I was just there yesterday, man. It actually happened in Miami. LeBron James, Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, Game 6. No, it might have been Game 7. One of those games, LeBron, just that whole vibe. I mean, it was nuts in that building. Because they got the fire. It's a lot going on down there.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hunter Patterson is going to join us bottom of the next hour. We're going to do our exit interviews of members of the Kings media. And when we come right back, the 2024 Suns remind us there are no shortcuts. Next with the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Everyone knows that a group of fish is called a school, but did you know a group of giraffes is called a tower? Or how about a murder of crows, a quiver of cobras, a shadow of jaguars, a shiver of sharks, or a zeal of zebras? Wild, huh? So what do you call a group of Bell Brothers plumbers? They don't fit into any of the traditional plumber stereotypes. They're clean and well-dressed. They're on time and courteous. They're well-trained and friendly. They're exactly the kind of people you'd be comfortable and confident to invite into your home. That's why we proudly call them our family of plumbers. If you need a drain cleared or any other plumbing service, we'll send one of the family right over to help you out. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento, giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Phoenix Suns bit the dust last night. What happened? They were supposed to be a NBA championship contender with all those superstars. Instead, finger pointing and questioning here as the Minnesota Timberwolves move on. Who cares about the Suns? We've got our own problems. But maybe there's an opportunity there in the Suns' demise for the Kings on the text line here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 from the 831. We need to make a major move this offseason. Like you guys stated, this is Money's biggest offseason. We either have to create a package revolving around Fox or Keegan.
Ooh.
This is the type of swing that has to be made if it makes sense. Both players hold great value. Whoa.
Fox or Keegan? How did
Package
Fox
around-
get into this?
Somebody's thinking, well, what do we have that's the most valuable? Then we got to consider parting with that.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't, the Fox talk, let's just dead that right now. Who are you going to get that's better than De'Aaron Fox? And why would that team do it? Think about it. What you want to get, Giannis? You want to get Embiid? What trades are out there that you would do De'Aaron Fox for? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Beal wouldn't be worth it. He disappeared when his team needed him the most. look, I'm not crazy about bringing Beal here. I understand the upside, but I don't know that it's fair to say he disappeared. That just didn't fit there.
Right. The fit was terrible. I mean, it was awful. Like, you saw the body language. We talked about Kevin Durant looking unhappy out there. The disrespect for Frank Vogel, like, his job security and everything. And so I don't know if Bradley Beal could ever be the 3-time All-Star that he's been. I do know he can still knock down shots, and in the right system and with the right chemistry, he can still be. He's only 30 years old. I mean, if you want to talk about injury concerns, okay, I'll give you that. But he's only 30 years old, and he still scored 18 points per game and shot 43% from 3 on a dysfunctional team this past season.
How dysfunctional? The Suns this postseason. Of course, they played Minnesota the whole time. That's a pretty good team. But with Durant, Booker, and Beal on the floor at the same time, they were minus 5.1. So that's not an indictment of any one of them, but it's an indictment of the team. The fact that they just couldn't figure that out. And Devin Booker said, roster-wise, everybody talks about the firepower, but you look around the league, it comes down to the details. And he had 49 points last night. I don't want to keep saying that, but it's a super important thing. You can't just go out there and think you're going to win off talent. The game is more complicated than that. And to me, the lesson there is there's no shortcuts. You can't, we got this guy, grab that guy. Oh, we'll get that guy. Here we go. It just doesn't work that way, especially in the playoffs.
No, you're 100% right. There's a reason why the Denver Nuggets are who they are. It's because years of, let's not forget, they lost to the Lakers. They flamed out. They had injuries. They had disappointments. And those kind of things help you grow and you become stronger so that when you're in the foxhole, when you're battling, Denver, when I watch them, they never seem to panic. They always understand who they are and what they're going to do. Then you throw a team together like Phoenix. I don't know if you watched that game last night. They were turning the ball over left and right down the stretch because they don't have that inherent knowledge, that chemistry, and they don't have that trust with each other. And that takes time. Honestly, if I'm Phoenix, and I know they got to make some moves, whether it's Durant or Beal or whatever, I don't know if I'd blow it up. I think what they're missing is somebody to bring all the ingredients together. Maybe Chris Paul, but he's not going to opt out. I think he's a partial guarantee. But they need a point guard, somebody that can get, because all those guys are scorers, finishers. They need somebody that can help them make life easier finishing. I don't know if I'd blow it up because I don't think the deals are going to be there that actually helps you unless you're trying to hit the reset and build for 3-4 years down the line.
It's funny you say that because I was watching them last night and I was thinking, when they had Ayton and Booker, Ayton and CP3, they were a better team.
Right.
But I know that all went sideways and Monty Williams lost the locker room and all that. So they had to do something. It's just difficult given their contractual obligations to do anything from here. Next season, the Suns payroll already exceeding $200 million. So they'll be in the second apron of the luxury tax. So they're really hamstrung. But again, new owner disease. Matt Ishbia says, hey, watch this. I'll show these idiots how it's done. I'll just spend all this money on these good players. And now they're sitting there going, oh, I see why people don't do that. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Fred, hanging on at Sacktown Sports. Hey, Fred, you're on with Drapes. Whitey, what's up?
Hi, guys. How we doing?
Good. What's up, Fred? How are you doing is the question.
Good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Good.
Hey, I called last week about KD going to the Kings for 2 first-round draft picks. And I knew they were going to get swept. But situation being is they need that veteran influence. When the Kings start out slow, they end slow. And with Durant's shooting percentage and his versatility as well, I think that might be a very, very good addition to their team.
What do you think, Dre?
Kevin Durant.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
I've been a big Durant fan for a long time.
Yeah. That's tough. For 2 first rounders.
And you might not even get him that cheaply.
Right. Yeah. Might not even get it done. Whew. Ooh, that's tough, man.
You want to up like you say with Beal, and you're right. Hey, he'd improve your backcourt. You think Kevin Durant would improve your front court?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But, we wonder about Beal's injury history and everything. Durant's 36. Like, basically, it's 2 more years of Durant. And then it's
KD and coach have history. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good.
Right. Hopefully. Caller we just had was talking about timeline and everything. Does Kevin Durant fit your timeline?
I don't even know what the Kings timeline is anymore. Isn't it just like now to maybe 3 or 4 years from now?
Yeah, I think they got a 5-year window. I think, when you look at Fox at 26, by the time he's 31, the problem is, let's keep it real. Let's just have the real discussion, Kings fans. 916-339-1140. Even at his best, Fox and Sabonis isn't good enough to take down Anthony Edwards, to take down Jokic. To win a championship, and we've talked about this, you got to have a guy, the guy. Can one of our guys become the guy? Or do we need to go out there and find the guy? That's the question. Think about all the great players that have played in the league. The Jimmy Butlers, the Jason Tatums, the Donovan Mitchells. 0 championships. All really, really, really good players, but they aren't the guy. Luka Doncic, Shea right now, Paul George still don't have a champion. You need a top 5 guy in the league to win a title, I think.
If the answer to your first question is maybe not as good as we thought, that question being, how good are Fox and Domas together? If the Kings look at that and decide, wow, that's quite a duo, but, are they even a top 20 1-2 punch in the league? I don't know. Then if you decide, well, we're not sure, then you do have to go get a Kevin Durant. Not that there's more than one.
Right.
Get somebody like Kevin Durant. There's only one Kevin Durant.
And the question is even he the guy now at this age? We saw what just happened. Anthony Edwards made him look silly. Like Anthony Edwards just, and so.
Yeah, and the Suns finished 6th, and Kevin Durant had a great year.
LeBron James going to be all NBA. And you saw where they finished, 7th. And so it's tough, man, to win in the NBA. And you look at the teams that have won championships recently, too, as I think about it. Milwaukee, homegrown. They hit the lottery with Giannis. Steph Curry. You look at Denver. Denver with Jokic. Like, you got to have the guy. Your draft pick has to be the guy. And so, really, what we need is De'Aaron Fox to really take another leap next season, I think, too. Like, we can ask Keegan Murray to be great and everything, but ultimately, is Keegan going to be the guy? Probably not. De'Aaron Fox has to be the guy.
When we come right back, we'll get back to the phones at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. And we'll ask the question, why are there so many NBA playoff teams that are so dysfunctional? With the drive guys still figuring out this Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal thing. Which one do we want? We can have whichever one we want, right?
Right.
Whichever one we
It's
decide.
that easy, right?
It's that easy with the drive guys on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Shop our best savings of the season during Springfest at Lowe's. Right now, save on Stay Green 1 cubic foot garden soil. Get 5 bags for just $10. And buy 2 select paints and exterior stains and get 1 free via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop in-store and online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 5/1. Stay Green offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Paint offer while supplies last. Excludes paint and stain samples. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
With your help, we're figuring out who do we want here going forward. Do we want Zach LaVine? Do we want Bradley Beal? Do we want Kevin Durant? Some of them may be obtainable. With the Suns going down hard last night, with the Suns already committed to more than $200 million in payroll for next year, they may have to do something. I believe KD has an extension coming due. And some people think if they don't come to an agreement on it, that could be an indication. Let's see. If the Suns and Durant want to, they can add 1 year for just under $60 million when Durant will be 38. So he has 2 years, $106 million left on his hefty deal. And yes, as I said, Durant will turn 36 at the start of training camp in September. And starting July 8th, he could extend his contract.
Yeah.
And if the Suns don't want to do that, maybe that's an indication that he's going to be moving on again. And if he's going to be moving on, how about the capital city? From the 831, I would love to see KD in OKC. They have the capital make a move like that. I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
OKC? Durant?
Going back there?
I don't think so. I don't even know if they need him right now.
Yeah, they might not even need him right now.
530, if you can get Durant right now for 2 firsts, do it.
Okay.
It's funny because I'm not all the way sold on Beal, and Drapes isn't all the way sold on KD.
No, I like KD, and I don't know. For 2 years, see, Brad Beal's 30, Kevin Durant's 36. He's going to be
difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. I don't know, man. I don't know. I probably would do it just because it's Sacramento and we're ready for a winner. We're ready to have a deep playoff run. And I think you throw him with Fox and Sabonis, man, KD would be lethal. And the coaching of Mike Brown, I probably would do it. But, man, aren't there some better options available? Or maybe not. I don't know. Everybody has some warts. We talked about Zach LaVine, the injury situation, the contract, Brad Beal, same thing. And so is there a perfect fit for this team right now?
Wasn't there somebody else last week we were talking about too? I'm sure. Oh, well, Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Right? We were talking about him.
I don't think that's
me and Jay
happen.
were out on that.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want to.
Are you rethinking that now?
Nope.
What? Did you see Karl Anthony Towns yesterday? Oh, my gosh. This dude is balling. Give me Karl Anthony Towns any day of the week.
He'll come here, and he'll be a good player, and you'll basically be the same. He's not proven he's one of those guys who are like, all right, get him all back, and I'll put you over the top.
Who is?
Very few guys.
Exactly.
But he's not one of them.
Who is? Is Kevin Durant that?
I used to think so, but I don't think he is right now.
That's what I'm
Look
saying.
at Phoenix.
Right.
He had a great year, and what'd they do? They fizzled out. Although, again, I didn't think they'd be that good. And let's be honest, right? They were 6. It's not like they, didn't make the playoffs.
Right. They had a good – I think they won 47, 48 games, 49 games.
Really good team.
Yeah. Yeah, the matchup was just terrible for them.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ashley joins us now, Sacktown Sports. Let's get to Ashley.
Honestly,
yeah. How are you?
Doing all right. Yourself?
Good.
Good. What's up?
Not much. Honestly, though, I don't want either Beal or Durant.
What?
For Beal, my reason is because I'm pretty sure Tony Romo in his current state might be healthier. And for KD, it's because he's 36, and for years we've heard things saying, oh, I don't want to play till I'm 35. He's 36. How much longer does he want to play, for one? And two, even though he's a good player, we've seen him next to guys like Kyrie, James Harden, and other good players. And there's many times where he hasn't been able to get it done. Personally, I think, and this is probably not going to be something that the fans like to hear as much, but I think we already have a guy in either De'Aaron or Keegan. I think Keegan needs to be the guy. And the reason why is De'Aaron, he is within 5 years going to be 31. And so if Keegan can be our guy, then we already have our guy, and B, he's a younger guy, so he can keep us relevant for longer if he is able to be the guy. And 3, I mean, we already have 3 people who are all-star caliber people potentially, and Keegan, if he can take a leap up, which people tend to do in their third year. But obviously, Domas and De'Aaron are all-star caliber, all-NBA caliber guys. And if you look at the Nuggets where they were just a few years ago, it was Jokic, it was Murray, but they also got guys that helped their team a lot to become where it is now, and Aaron Gordon and KCP, which, let's face it, they were kind of looked as draft busts in a way.
Yeah.
But they were able to revitalize their careers in Denver and find really good roles for themselves. So I think that we need something more like that. And it doesn't even necessarily, quote unquote, have to be a draft bust per se, but even a guy like a Caruso or an Alvarado, something that's not necessarily a huge play, but helps bring things that we need to our team while also adding a little bit of cohesion and a little bit of team chemistry. And just, I mean, even look at where we were in 01.
Gotcha, Ashley. All right, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. It's an interesting point Ashley made about Bradley Beal's health. You compared it with Tony Romo.
Yeah.
And I hate to do it, Kyle, because you're my guy.
Oh.
But I'm officially out on Beal right now for this reason.
Tell me why.
I'm looking the last 5 years. Okay, Bradley Beal in 2018, he played 82 games for the first time in his career. 2019, he did it again. Since then, he's played 57, 60, 40, 50, and 53 games. And maybe that's not his fault. I'm not saying he's terrible, but I'm just saying I need to hitch my wagon here. I'm looking for somebody who's going to lead me into new territory where I haven't been as a franchise in years, and I don't think he's reliable enough because he's breaking down a little bit.
Like I said, everybody we're mentioning is going to have some warts.
Mm-hmm.
There's no perfect answer. There's no 25-year-old superstar that we can go get right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no 20-year-old guy that can, become a superstar. We're going to have to take some risk, take some gambles. I think we're at that point. You look at Indiana, what they did with Pascal Siakam. Maybe we should have taken that. Trade it, get him here, even if he's not going to re-sign. Get him here, make a deep run. Maybe he has a change of heart. I don't know. I feel like right now we're almost stuck in this middle zone.
I agree.
And that concerns me, Whitey. I was doing some research as Ashley was talking, and I went to Hoops Hype because Ashley mentioned Keegan Murray as being the guy. Top 25 players, 25 and under in the NBA.
According to
this is Hoops Hype.
Okay.
This is Hoops Hype. They got Keegan Murray 22, excuse me.
Out of 25?
Out of 25. Listen to some of the guys ahead of Keegan Murray. Higher up,
Yeah.
Tyler Hero. Jaime Jaquez, who's just a rookie.
Yeah.
Anthony Simons. Jalen Williams from OKC.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams is nice. I like Jalen Williams.
That's the Santa Clara one, right?
Yeah, Santa Clara. Darius Garland. Jaren Jackson Jr., Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley. My point is, if Keegan's going to become the guy, and we all hope he does, all these other guys can claim to be possibly the guy. Franz Wagner, Victor Wembanyama, Zion.
That's some really good players on there.
Paolo, Scotty Barnes, LaMelo Ball, Chet Holmgren, so Tyrese Maxey. So my point is, can Keegan be better than those guys when it's all said and done? Can he be better than Paolo? Can he be better than Tyrese Maxey, Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes? That's asking a lot, man. And it may depend on him doing that for us to compete for a championship.
If the calculation comes down to you got to take a risk, which risk do you want to take? And if it's, okay, you take the risk that Keegan becomes the player you want him to be, or you get an older player and come in and hope that he's able to overcome an injury history, Keegan's probably the one that makes the most sense because it's not as costly. But it depends if you want to, swing for the fences.
Right. And the thing about it, these older guys have done it at an elite level for a number of years. Even Bradley Beal. We can talk. Bradley Beal's a 3-time All-Star, people. Let's not all of a sudden act like Bradley Beal can't play basketball. This is a guy that's been in playoff series, been a leader in playoff series. I know it's been a minute since him and John Wall were doing things in Washington, but Bradley Beal is still a bucket getter. And I don't need Brad Beal to come in and be my number one. I don't even need him to be my number two. I'm talking about as a quality starter on this Sacramento Kings team. All I need for Bradley Beal, to keep it real, is to give me what he gave Phoenix this regular season, 18 points on 43% shooting. I would take that version of Bradley Beal right now.
Yeah, 513 percentage overall. Which is great.
That's good. That's great, right? I know he had a horrible playoffs, didn't look good yesterday. I know he's, the injury situation, that kind of thing. I get it. But in terms of actual basketball, Bradley Beal is actually the guy we're looking for. He is the guy we are looking for from a production standpoint. Bradley Beal is what we want Kevin Huerter to be night in and night out. But Bradley Beal does it. And I know the injury thing that causes concern. I get it. I'm with you on that. But you may have to take some risk if you're Sacramento. I know.
No, you're right. You're right. Look, nobody knows for sure. The risk is if that tops out, like he comes in here and he plays well, then, you're not getting younger, obviously. And then where is your ceiling? Are you like, well, yeah, you might get as far as the Suns, or maybe you win a first-round series. And we don't know the answer to that. But is this franchise, are they trying to put together a team that they think can compete at some point for a championship? Or are they trying to put together a team that has a chance to be relevant and a playoff team for 4 or 5 years? There's a big difference, but we don't know what the master plan is, frankly.
So let me ask you this, because I'm going to keep it real. If it's to build a champion, what's our move? What's our play?
Probably have to get younger, I think. Younger and better, which is like, how do you
do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Unless you're a marquee franchise. You know what's interesting? We need to find our Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, quality player coming from Dallas.
Yeah.
But they didn't know he would be this good. Who's that
supposed
guy?
to already have that guy? Isn't Fox supposed to already be that guy?
I'm not talking about position-wise.
Oh, I know,
I'm saying,
know.
who's the guy that's decent? That's what I'm asking you. Because when you look at De'Aaron, as great as he is he going to be the best player when it's time to win? If you believe so, then you got to fill in the pieces. If not, then you got to go out there and get swing for the fences like we talked about.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. The plan is still Fox is going to be great. He's going to be the guy, and then Keegan's going to become another guy.
Listen, the truth hurts. The current state of Keegan is already better than the current state of Beal. Okay. Maybe we can ask Hunter Patterson that question, right? Get our boy Hunter Patterson.
Hunter Patterson, we're going to start our series of Kings Media exit interviews when Hunter Patterson from The Athletic joins us next here. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends 4/30/24.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game.
Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Cool moms love the lounge. Show your appreciation this Mother's Day by treating your mom to specials on some of our favorites all day long.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 340.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Be listening to Sacktown Sports each Friday morning for the Rivercats Weekend Report with team updates and everything you'll want to know about the next exciting Rivercats homestand. Let's go, Rivercats!
Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
I'm surprised that Drapes isn't wearing a shirt today. That's obviously a very nice King shirt. Surprised he's not wearing a shirt that says Eagles win the draft, because that's all he's been talking about here during the commercials. You don't win a draft, okay? You don't win a draft.
For the last 29 years, we're only about Super Bowls. Something Niners fans can't talk about. We're only about Super Bowls for the last 29 years.
Slow your roll. We can't talk about Super Bowls.
That's a lot of empty years if that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying, hey, we got one, though. We got one, within the last decade.
Y'all better grasp and hold on to that thing, because the way y'all cherishing that one, man. Y'all got one that sit, when you go into like somebody's house, the atrium or something, they got one plant in there.
Right.
Like y'all just now
Super
getting your
Bowl.
green thumb ready. One plant.
Or one Lombardi.
One Lombardi sitting in the middle of the floor.
But I will have to say, it looks like the Eagles are probably theoretically closer to a championship than the Kings are right now, right?
Oh, you're wrong, Whitey. So you're wrong.
Let's keep it real.
I'm just transitioning to our guest because we're trying to figure out how the Kings get closer. Our series of Kings media exit interviews begins today, and nice enough to join us to tip it all off, outstanding writer for The Athletic, covers the Kings, Hunter Patterson. How are you today, Hunter?
I'm doing well. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah. We've been having some fun here today, looking at the fact that the Suns may implode here. And we've been wondering, let's see, would we want Beal? Would we want Kevin Durant? Do you see either one of those guys theoretically being a fit for the Kings?
I mean, KD, he's probably going to be a fit wherever he goes. You kind of develop the team around him, even though he's very much over the hill, I would say, even though he's still playing really well. And Beal, simply put, I wouldn't really want Beal. I don't think he contributes to winning basketball much.
I mean, these young kids nowadays.
Yeah, I told you.
They just looking at box
You won't
scores
listen to me.
and
Well, you listen to
analytics
him.
and everything like that. Give me Brad Beal in a heartbeat, Hunter. A guy that averaged 18 points, shot 43% from three, was in an awful system in Washington, awful system out there in Phoenix. And if you bring him to Sacramento, and forget about the contract, because that's not our money to spend. Why are we worried about a contract? I don't understand that. But if you bring him to Sacramento, he's at best your third option, maybe even your fourth option. Bradley Beal is what we want Kevin Huerter to be. If Kevin Huerter had Brad Beal numbers, we would be erecting a statue and singing Kevin Huerter's praises right now.
I do get that. I like the standpoint of swapping Kev out for Beal. So when you look at it from that standpoint, I think he would do well coming off DHOs. He wouldn't have much pressure on him to be handling the ball too much. So Drapes, you make some great points. I can't lie.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, Hunter, Drapes, dear listener. When a player gets traded, typically the new area, he will check out homes. Bradley Beal is injured so often. When he's going somewhere, he checks out the hospitals. That's what he does.
Hey, we got UC Davis Medical Center right here, baby. We got world-class facility.
One of the best in the world, Drake.
Yeah, tell him, Jay. We got the best hospitals here, too.
Checks is, what about the hospitals in the area? Because that's where I'm going to be.
Eyes are right in the same building.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Let's switch gears, though, man. All right, so if it's not Brad Beal, then how do you fix the Kings? What moves can they make? What would you like for them to do?
And let me ask you another specific about Zach LaVine while you're answering.
Oh, yeah, my boy Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine, he's another person who I think can shore up offensively. I don't know how confident I am in him on defense, but again, Drapes, I think you made a good point about just the system and Mike Brown and the culture that he's creating here in Sacramento. So I think he would probably be able to get different things out of guys than they've shown in their past situations with other teams. So I would be on board for Zach. And after Drapes said what he said, I kind of am a little bit on board for Beal too.
My guy, to see this, this is why we got you on the show, Hunter. Man, you're my guy, man. Anytime you want to come on, just hit us up, man.
Hunter, which way is the wind blowing now, Patterson? That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty open to good arguments, man. I can't lie.
Exactly.
I got you.
So hold up here, Hunter. Throw out some names you've been thinking about, though. Who would you like them to go after? That's realistic.
I would want someone who's kind of in the similar like Aaron Gordon mold. There's not a ton of Aaron Gordons in the league, but someone who could help take pressure off of Domas and potentially be a pretty good rim protector, perimeter defender, so you don't have to rely too much on other guys and put that pressure on them. So probably wouldn't be a Jeremy Grant, but someone of that like stretch four with athleticism who can play both sides of the floor. I'm looking at someone like that, possibly. As much as we all love HB and as great of a locker room presence as he is, someone you can upgrade in his position.
Let's see. Checking out the latest from Hunter Patterson here, Sacktown Sports. Why, as we look back, Hunter, on this Kings season, why ultimately, and I know there's so many reasons, but as simply as you could, how would you answer the question, why were the Kings so inconsistent this year?
I think it had a lot to do with, one, you can't blame injuries because every team deals with injuries. So that aside, I think it took a while for them to adjust to the things that Mike wanted out of them. And again, this was only Mike's second full season with the team. And eventually you did see guys, De'Aaron averages a career high in steals. Keegan is developing as a two-way guy, especially on the defensive end. But by the time they seemed to have kind of figured it out a little bit, it was a little too late. And in trying new things defensively, you're not going to always be as consistent as you probably should be. So it took a lot of time. They seemed like they let their guard down far too often once they built leads and weren't having their aggression the same way it was in building those leads. So it was a lot of things contributing, but
sure.
I would imagine as long as it took them to develop and kind of buy into the system that Mike was asking them to defensively, I think next season I would expect to see a lot less of the inconsistencies.
Hey, Hunter, does Keegan undoubtedly have to be a one or number two on this team, like in terms of pecking order? Like, I feel like for me going into next season, It can't be nights where, he's 8 points. Like, he has to be the undoubted number 2 on this team, I feel like, next season.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think Keegan is almost the X factor on most nights. When he's aggressive, it seems like things are going well for the team as a whole. And he took roughly 3 more shots this season than he did last season. But I personally would love to see Keegan take at least 18 shots a night. And that's an average. So hopefully there's some 20 shot attempt type nights. But I definitely think he has to be, at worst, the second option behind De'Aaron.
Hunter, is it possible, in your opinion, it's possible in mine, which is why I'm asking, that other teams have, to a degree, caught up with the Kings offense as far as running the ball through the high post with Domas? It seemed like 2 seasons ago, teams weren't prepared for that. This year, it seemed like it really bogged down. I realize you don't make shots. It's tough to run much of an offense, but do you think maybe teams have caught up to that a little bit after the way the Warriors played them in the playoffs last season?
I do. I think obviously the West is the more competitive conference, and there's a lot of smart minds on the benches with coaching staffs and things. So it doesn't take long to see something that works, and you may be able to mimic it. And in mimicking it, you can figure out solutions on how to stop it. So I do think the West is super competitive. The teams that weren't that great this past season will probably be a lot better next year. First one that comes to mind is the Grizzlies. I would not expect them to be bottom of the league next season. Right. Spurs have a lot of cap space, and Wemby is ridiculous. So I think there are going to have to be moves made for the Kings to be able to recreate what they did last season and move past that.
Hey, Hunter, what growth do you want to see from De'Aaron Fox? Is it more consistent, or does he need to add some things to his game?
I think the jump he made from the three-point line in terms of volume and percentage was really something to be proud of for him. And defensively, we saw, again, he averaged career high in steals, but I think just maintaining a level of consistency throughout the entire season. He was pretty forthcoming about it at exit interviews about how he had some good stretches, had some bad stretches. So I think for him, it might be more mental than anything he can add to his game, and just taking each game extremely serious and maintaining a real level of intensity throughout the season. And also, too, I would like to see De'Aaron be a little bit more vocal as just a leader on this team. Trey and Malik were kind of those guys who were more demonstrative and holding guys accountable, but I would like to see a little bit more of that from De'Aaron as well.
Hunter Patterson, they call him just simply the voice. Have you seen on Twitter the way women react to his voice?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, he downplays it, but you could check Twitter. I mean, just he starts talking and they start swooning.
Oh, my God.
So that, yeah. So we're very fortunate to have Hunter with us today. Hunter, did the Kings do anything this year that they can build on? I know De'Aaron talked about that. Oh, there's some things we can build on this year. There's a lot of inconsistency. Can you cite something they did this year where you could say, yeah, that's something they can definitely build on going into next season?
It's pretty specific, but they had a decent stretch toward the latter end of the season where they were doing a great job of winning third quarters. And I think the best stretch they had there was a back-to-back between the Bucks and the Lakers.
Yeah.
And the average point total that they gave up was about 19 or 20 points. And De'Aaron, after one of those games, was talking about how big a deal it was to be able to do that in the third, because the second half isn't a completely new game, but you either have a chance to get back into the game or build on your leads. So I think if they can continue to play really good defense and just together at a high level in those third quarters, that might be one way to remedy like giving up double-digit leads and playing inconsistent as a whole. So hopefully keep keying in on those third quarters.
Good stuff right there from our guy, Hunter Patterson. Hey, Hunter, as we look at the landscape of the league right now, one of the things that, we were just talking about is how you need the guy. If you want to talk about competing for a championship, you need a top 5 guy in the NBA. When you look at the Kings, Do they have the potential to have that guy? Do they need to, somehow swing for the fences and trade for that guy, draft that guy? How important is getting the guy, you think?
I'm still kind of a firm believer in that De'Aaron can be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think his playoff debut last season, he had almost a 40-piece, and he seems to raise his level of play in big games. So I think he's someone who may need more pressure to perform at a higher level, and that's suited for the playoffs. So I think he continues to build on his three ball. He's doing things from three levels in terms of knowing when he gets into the paint, he can rely on his floater, the pull-up jumpers, and then he finishes at the rim at a high level. So I think De'Aaron can be that guy, and hopefully Keegan can be second in command there with Domas having not as much pressure in that third spot. But again, I think changes will need to be made.
Hunter, we all know that we want the same thing, but what's your best guess of what is actually going to happen when it comes time for Malik to decide whether he goes or stays?
I think with Malik, there's been a lot of uncertainty in his career. When he was coming off of his deal with the Hornets, he didn't have a huge market. He ended up signing, I believe it was just a 1-year deal with the Lakers. So for him now to have all of these options available, the amount of money that he should be receiving from a team that likely can offer more than the Kings can, I wouldn't be surprised if Malik moved on to a different team. And he's also been vocal about wanting to be a starter, but obviously doing whatever is best for the team success. Mm-hmm. So if he's offered more money with the starting role on a team that can be competitive, I would say he's probably on his way to a different team.
Oh, see? Hunter, man. Dude, that's not a way to win the ladies with the voice in there. I mean, you got people turning us off now, man.
I'm sorry. I do think he really values his time here in SAC. I think you see the way all of Golden One Center reacts to him and the things he does on the court. But there's only so long you're going to be able to play basketball, and you have to kind of try to maximize opportunity financially. So I don't know. I do think his friendship with De'Aaron and the relationship he's built with Mike will make that decision to leave pretty tough if he does.
Yeah, that's one of the scariest things, right? Because we know he's close with all the guys, and Domas and others talk about how much they want him to stay. But then his best friend on the team, De'Aaron Fox, he needs to go.
It's a business, right?
Yeah, that's the scary part. Hunter Patterson, outstanding Kings coverage in The Athletic. Thanks, Hunter. We appreciate it. Next thing you know, be Summer League, and then, Olympics and camps will be opening again. So thanks for all your help this year. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds great. Thanks for all
right, Hunter.
Y'all have had too. So thank you.
Yep.
All right, bro.
You got it. I mean, you didn't have to just flip-flop like that on. My goodness.
I know, my guy, right?
I don't want Bradley Beal.
I'm just Whitey.
Drapes is right.
You should take it from Hunter, man. When guys make good points, a la me, you get new information. He's easily, you like to fight me tooth and nail, Hunter. This guy likes to fight me tooth and nail. I made a good point.
Yeah.
We would love Bradley Beal's production here in Sacramento.
I hadn't thought about what Mike could do for his career, so I might be on board with that one.
I like that.
Might be. All right, might be. Thank you, Hunter.
All right, Hunter.
All right, thanks,
all right, appreciate it, man. I don't know, man. I think, when we look at where we are in terms of, the Kings, this is a difficult situation because Hunter talked about maybe losing Malik. Well, you don't have money to go out there and sign somebody at $20 million or anything. You got the $12 million exception. And so I don't know what we do. You're going to have to shake it up. And next goes back to the question you had earlier. Are we just trying to compete, make the playoffs here and there? Or are we trying to win championships? To win championships, it may take some bold moves.
Yeah.
Like we've seen. I mean, trading Halliburton was a bold move by Monty. So he has done it in the past.
One thing that I think is good, you look at the teams and I know that the Suns are out now, but teams have made the playoffs. I'm looking at the Lakers, the Bucks, and the Suns. And things aren't going well for them. Suns are out. Even though they made the playoffs, there's a lot of dysfunction there. And the Lakers are going at, Darvin Ham, D'Angelo Russell, he checks out during a huddle. The Bucks now that their GM is on his way out because apparently he didn't want to hire Griffin to be the coach.
Griffin, yeah.
And that was Giannis did that. So, and then obviously with the injuries, they got things going on in the Suns. There's the stories now that people behind the scenes in Phoenix are saying, no one knows what's going on here. At least the Kings don't have anything approaching any of that.
We're stable right now.
Yeah. It used to not be that way.
We used to be that team, right? Where there's some back talking and, things like that, some backstabbing out there. We are on the right path. You got the ownership, you got the GM, and you got the coach. Now we need to upgrade the roster. I just don't know how we do it, Whitey. And because think about this. We've been having this discussion ever since November, probably. And we still haven't come up with the perfect answer for this. And, Monty McNair is going to have to make some moves, and maybe some of them are going to be unpopular this offseason.
Mm-hmm. I do think that they thought they knew what was best, and they just weren't able to do it, but they tried, which was Anunoby and then Siakam, like you said.
Right.
And I don't blame him for not bringing in Siakam if he said, I'm not going to stay there.
Right.
Because you have to, you have to give up a lot to get him. Maybe they should have gambled it. I understand it. But my point is, there's something comforting about looking at that and seeing how, wow, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah. You're right. And then I also question what Kings fans really want out of this. And I go back to you saying, do they want to just compete or do they want to actually win a championship? And would Kings fans just be happy making the playoffs every year?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Be, a lesser version of the Miami Heat, let's say. Never bottomed out. Miami never really bottomed out. They're always competitive, and just right there in that 5, 6, 7. Are we okay with that? Or do we want to be the Denvers of the world, the Warriors, the Celtics, like top 2 or 3 every single year?
Compio says, I like this. Let's keep it real. No on Beal.
Ridiculous. Give me some names then, Compio. Tell me who. This is the problem, man. We have these discussions. Kevin Durant, I'm out on him. LeBron James, I'm out on him. Zach LaVine, I'm out. We're looking. You know what we are right now?
Who's out on LeBron?
No, because I've heard that before. I've heard that. You know what we are right now? You ever go to TripAdvisor and look up a hotel when you're trying to decide on where you're going to stay? And you all immediately look at the negative reviews. That's what we're doing. We're focused too much on the negatives and not the upside,
so we should
positive.
Just get anybody.
I'm just
anybody
saying.
Who's average 20 points a game that's available, bring them in.
Give me somebody better then. Give me somebody better. Don't say Jeremy Grant that hasn't won anything in his life.
Can Tin do this? Top tier Tin. He says, Drapes, I'm your guy. Can someone declare themselves your guy?
Nah, that's like
Tin is awesome.
You know what? I'm gonna let 10 slide with this one.
I'm your guy, Drapes. I don't think you can do that.
No, he can, because he came to our live broadcast at one time.
Yeah,
remember he came out. If it was just if I had never met him in person or anything, I'm like, you can't beg to be a guy. Like, you got to earn that, bro. So that's like the opposite. You know what I mean? That proves you're not my guy. But because it's 10, he's my guy. He came out and visited us, so I'm all for that.
All right, let's go, Kevin Durant. A lot of support for Durant. If I got to take anybody of all these names you're throwing at me today,
who you take?
No. It might be Zach LaVine.
I've been saying that for 4 months, Whitey.
It ain't Bradley Beal.
Zach LaVine's hurt all the time too now.
I know.
I know. There's no perfect answer. That's what I'm saying. We got to take somebody with some warts, unless you find me a young player that somebody doesn't want to pay.
The good thing about Zach LaVine is, I think, because he's been hurt, the Bulls might be in a situation where they want to get rid of him,
and they got to do something, right?
Yeah.
They got to shake it up too.
Yeah. When we come right back. We'll look at the biggest surprise of the playoffs so far. Don't forget, 4:30, Jennifer Lee Chan reviews how the 49ers won the draft this weekend. That and more coming up with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. Our overnight lows will drop down to about 50. Tomorrow, beautiful day. Sunshine to the light north breeze and look for highs near 80. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Miniature golf has been around America since 1916, with the first course opening in Pinehurst, North Carolina, according to Links magazine. Englishman James Barber built a course in his backyard called Lilliputian. A few years later, he built a second course and called it Thistledew. Unlike today's mini golf courses, Thistledew wasn't for children. The 18-hole course was made of compacted sand and clay, making it quite difficult. Today's clown mouths or windmills were nowhere to be found, as the course featured real hazards like rocks, trees, and grass bunkers. 4 holes even required a high-lofted niblick to carry bushes and long grass. Longest hole was 71 feet, shortest was 12. Golf fanatic Thomas McCullough Fairbairn revolutionized the game in 1922 with his formulation of a suitable artificial green consisting of a mixture of cottonseed hulls, sand, oil, and dye. 100 years later, Thistledew has returned to its home at Pinehurst Resort, and guests can play the new Thistledew. Please leave your niblick at home. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley with special guest Foghat. ZZ Top playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-higher rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Guys, are you still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers guaranteed low T and ED treatments, and this month only, qualified patients get a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. Availability is limited. Book your free exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, look at the teams that the Kings were battling for the 6th spot. The Lakers are just as close to being out. The Suns are out.
Yeah.
The Pelicans, that is not the same team. This Pelicans team that's getting shoved around by the Thunder, those aren't the same guys that played against the Kings.
CJ made a 3 all series long. Like, against us, like you said, he couldn't miss against us. Ingram looked like a Hall of Famer. Now, they look ready for Cancun. They look that's what frustrates me about it, Whitey. I'm like, man, we could have did a better job than some of these guys out here.
Yeah. Is there one thing that surprised you so far more than anything else in the playoffs? I mean, Pacers leading the Bucks would be a big surprise, except the Bucks have been so banged up, it kind of makes sense.
The injury situation. I might say the Knicks 3-1 over Philly. I thought Philly, has played well, but the Knicks, with one star, really, Jalen Brunson has owned this series, which is crazy. That's a little surprising to me. I look at the ease in which Minnesota had with Phoenix. That's a little bit surprising. I thought at least one game, Phoenix never was able to figure it out. Those two things stand out to me.
Yeah, once those games started, like we said earlier, it was clear that with Anthony Edwards and some of the other things Minnesota has going on, Phoenix just couldn't match that.
Right. They couldn't. And, Frank Vogel's going small and, against the big Timberwolves team, it was just a mismatch. And, give the T-Wolves credit, man. I think they're better than maybe we thought they were at the beginning.
Yeah,
remember it was,
I thought.
When we beat them at their place twice, once without De'Aaron Fox. It's like, if we face Minnesota, we may have a chance. Not the way they're playing, man. They look amazing right now.
I was right about the Thunder. I was right about the Suns. I was wrong about those Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes.
I had no idea they were this good.
And they came out of nowhere, man. Last year, obviously, things didn't quite work out. Cat and Gobert experiment. But now they've been a top 2 or 3 team all year long. And so there's been no let up with them.
Yeah. What do you think should happen, will happen with Coach Vogel in Phoenix? And there was a story today that after, late in the year, they had some bad losses. They had a bad loss against the Clippers, and he was chewing them out the next day. And according to the story, the players thought it was so fake, some of them had to stop from laughing.
Right. Yeah, it seems like he's out. It seems like,
But you got to pay him, too.
You got to pay him, too, but you can't keep him if the players don't respect him, And so it's – and I don't care who they bring in as coach, is probably not going to work. You need to tweak that roster. And that's why I say a guy like Chris Paul, I think it's a mutual option or no, partially guaranteed contract with the Warriors. And so if he's out there, can you bring him back at like a vet minimum or a partial mid-level to just run the show for your team? Because they desperately need a point guard to run that operation.
Yes, we're trying to figure out where the Kings go from here, and we're wondering if maybe there's a scoop and score opportunity. The Suns decide to break things up. There's one option we haven't really looked at, Drapes, and Top Tier 10, who is a self-declared your guy. He is talking about the draft, and he's talking about 19-year-old incredible. He says Blazka, and I think he's talking about, and these names are difficult, in Matas Buzelis, who is 6'8", 209 pounds, 19-year-old American-Lithuanian, pro comparison, Hito Turkoglu. This mock that I have, there's, various mocks.
Of them,
They have them going 10th. The Kings pick, well, we'll see where they end up picking. Maybe they could trade up. What about that? Trading up in this draft and trying to get what you need through the draft. You don't like that, do you?
I don't, because the draft is hit or miss, right? There's no guarantee with these guys. There's no slam dunk among this list, unless you're not. I mean, I wouldn't even say the top 2 or 3 are guaranteed. Like, this is, arguably a weak draft. Now, if this was next year's draft, which is supposed to be a whole lot stronger, maybe, and it'll be interesting to see, because if you're Monty McNair, could you give up a player and a pick to move up to top 6 or something like that? Would we be happy with that?
If they see somebody they like, compared to the 49ers situation where they drafted Pearsall and the rest of us going, okay, what? But they loved him. If there's somebody the Kings love, where the rest of us are kind of going, then maybe you do that. By the way, Matas Buzelis, you're not sold on him. 14.1 points per game, G League Ignite, 26.1% 3-point shooting, and his team was 2-32.
Dang. No way.
Yeah, and he's projected to go 10th.
10th. Oh, my gosh. Thanks, but no thanks. 10, you're my guy, but if that's the guy you're talking about, not
He's 19. The thing is, who knows?
Right.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's true, but I know he can't win. My gosh. 2-32.
2-32. How about this one from Emmadrock? Go Vallejo. No on Beal, yes on Kobe White.
How you going to get Kobe White?
Yes.
Like, he's part of their future. Like, he's one of their centerpieces.
They have a lot of things they don't like. He's one of the things
He's one of the,
like.
actually, yeah, exactly. It does. Any way we can get Caruso still. Remember at the trade deadline, there was a lot of chatter about Alex Caruso, and would he be a difference maker for us?
I don't need him. I got Keon Ellis.
Yeah, that's true. That was before we got a
punch.
defense.
Yeah,
we do need some punch. Yeah, and especially, you never know what happens with Malik. I just saw this on the text line 916. I got you one, Drapes. Ben freaking Simmons.
Is that from Carmichael?
That might
Dave?
be Carmichael Dave's burner phone or somebody like that. Ben Simmons, man, you talk about a guy that hasn't played basketball.
Yeah.
And tremendous talent, but I'm out on him.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier that I went to the trade machine, and Sasha, Davion, Harrison Barnes, and Herder for Kevin Durant works. Now,
Really?
that's according to the trade machine. I don't think the Suns would be too excited about that.
I don't think so.
But there are ways you could theoretically get Kevin Durant.
Do you want Kevin Durant? That's the question.
Honestly, it would be so exciting. This summer would be so exciting, but I think this time next year we'd be going, man, that just didn't quite work out.
Right. It didn't pan out the way we wanted it to. You're right. And as much as, KD, future Hall of Famer, first ballot, 2-time champ, as great as he is, I just don't see it, man.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Like, whoever we get ideally helps us for 3 to 5 years, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah. That's the strongest point I think you have on Beal is that he's only 30.
Only 30. Exactly. Fourth option at best, maybe third option, 43% 3-point shooter. I think he's a perfect fit. Obviously the injuries, the contract, but I think you can get him for pretty cheap right now. I don't think his value is that high.
I saw something that Alan tweeted yesterday. Maybe it was today. It was interesting. He asked about, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
If you're a team that thinks you're a player away, do you make a run at Joel Embiid? And he mentioned the Warriors and the Kings, whatever. It was interesting. My point is this. I thought the Kings are 1 player away. I hadn't really thought of them that way, Drapes, and I don't think they are. Are the Kings 1 player away?
Well, it depends who that player is. If they go out and get a healthy Giannis,
yeah. If Michael Jordan.
If they get Jokic or something, like if Jordan, exactly. I think there are a few players away because it's not only at a star level, but you need to beef up the bench too. You got to have some depth. Right now, we don't have much depth.
We'll take a look at the curious case of Kevin Durant when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
new home for 49ers football in the 916, Sacktown Sports.
We'll be talking Niners football bottom of the hour when Jennifer Lee Chan joins us to go over the draft. Did you see Drapes? And Drapes says, the Eagles won the draft. The Eagles won the draft. Neater. Did you see that the 49ers, they picked up an undrafted defensive tackle, Evan Anderson. So undrafted, and they gave him a $30,000 signing bonus and $250,000 guaranteed.
Really?
Undrafted.
Undrafted?
Yes. So they loved him.
Yeah, you're right. To give him that kind of guarantee for a guy that wasn't even drafted?
Yeah. He was pretty happy. There was video of him when he found out doing flips into a swimming pool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, man.
So why would they do that? We'll find out when Jennifer Lee Chan joins us. As for the Kings, here's a suggestion on the YouTube chat from Jay Templeton. I think potential picks and the possible trading of Keegan is what it will take to get that number 2 guy. I don't think Keegan is the guy. Nice player. Hope they keep him, but he's not a number 2.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know yet, right? I mean, we did the exercise. I gave the State of the Kings address on Friday the other day. Thank you. And I talked about Keegan. And when you look at the numbers, Peja averaged 11 points per game his second year and then jumped to 20. Jason Tatum, 15 points per game, then jumped to 23. I think, and we talked about this on air, off air as well, Keegan Murray, you have to figure out what he is and what he's going to become before his value starts to go. At some point, it'll plateau, right? Either he'll, outperform his value and become a superstar, all-star level player, or another year goes by where solid player, 15 to 16, 17 points, but now his value isn't as high.
It's just so aggravating. Just imagine how his teammates feel as coaches, because on those nights like the win over the Warriors or whenever they played the Jazz and he just goes off and you can see it. Yes, that's the guy that we know he can become. And then it just goes away the next night.
Yeah. And I feel like as an organization, as a city, we've been, sort of treating Keegan with kid gloves.
Coddling
him a little bit. Now's the time where, young fella, you're the number 4 overall pick. You got to step on the floor and act like it. Act like you're the best player. Don't be deferring to De'Aaron Fox. Don't defer to Domantas Sabonis. Call for it. Say, I got the ball. I'm bringing it up, And so I need him to be more aggressive, even a little bit more selfish. I need that dog to come out of Keegan Murray.
Compio says, KD, tremendous talent. For his size, he moves so fluid, but this year he moved on the court like his feet are too heavy. Signs of old age, ... Compio, as you probably know, Kevin Durant had a great year. I'm not saying you're wrong. He may be first team all league, but the funny thing with Kevin Durant, and again, we're speculating here that maybe he could become available. The Suns have an option of extending his contract. It's the strangest story as far as a great basketball player who looked like at OKC, looked like everything was right in the world. Remember when he won the MVP and he dedicated it to his mom?
Right there, yeah.
Some people were surprised when he left there. And then within years, I think he and his mom had some huge business dispute. And he goes to the Warriors. And I think he was surprised when he won a championship with the Warriors. I think he thought at that point, well, I'm vindicated. Instead, some of the howling got louder. And I don't think he understood that. And ever since then, maybe it was before that, we just didn't know it. He's just looking for something that he can't find.
Right. He's searching for something. He thought playing with his boys in Brooklyn would be the answer. That didn't turn out to be the case. He thought going to Phoenix would help him out, and playing with Booker, that didn't help him out. I don't know what he's looking for, man. Like, what's an ideal situation for Kevin Durant? Obviously it's competing for a championship, but what kind of style of play? Is it what we have going here in Sacramento? Where it's a lot of ball movement and player movement, and it's not just dribble. All right, your turn, my turn, your turn, like it was in Phoenix. And so, I mean, you're talking about a guy who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, arguably a top 20 player of all time. But when you think about his legacy, it may be as a mercenary, just trying to jump around, finding something he could never find.
Yeah, and some guys do that because they want to win a ring. It's not even clear that that's why he's been doing it. If that were it, he probably would have stayed in Golden State.
Right, exactly. I think he's looking for happiness both on the court and off the court. And you're right, 27 points per game, 41% from three. I mean, the dude had a very good season, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, these are MVP level numbers. Played in 75 games too, Whitey. How about that?
Yeah.
75 games for Kevin Durant. And so I don't know honestly, if I'm Phoenix, really there's 2 moves I make. Maybe you change the coach like we talked about, but also you try to find somebody for Bradley Beal and hopefully get back a point guard. You need somebody, and you don't even need an upper echelon point guard, all-star level point guard. Tyus Jones would be nice. Even a Trey Jones down there in San Antonio would be better. How about a Reggie Jackson who has a player option, I think, coming up this year? I don't know. I feel like they need to break up that big 3. Now, somebody on the text line, Whitey, said, trade Devin Booker. They're talking about Phoenix. Why don't they trade? There's 0 chance they trade Devin Booker unless Devin Booker said, I want out. I think that's off
somebody
the table.
last week mentioned that.
Somebody said that. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not happening. It's not happening.
A lot of people around the league are keeping an eye on Kevin Durant because, as I mentioned earlier, starting July 8th, according to ESPN, Durant can extend his contract. He has 2 years, $106 million left on his deal. If the Suns and Durant want to, they can add 1 year for just under $60 million for the 26-27 season. If the Suns and Durant are not able to come to any kind of agreement, then a lot of people think that might suggest, then he's not going to be there for long either. So that's why a lot of people are keeping an eye on where the Suns go with Kevin Durant this summer. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Douglas has been hanging on. Hey, Douglas, you're on with Drapes and Whitey.
Hey,
what can we do for you?
Hey, guys, I just want to say I was talking to my buddy the other day, and I want to know what you guys said about trying to trade for Bobby Portis. I think Bobby Portis is got the idea for the Kings. They kind of need the fourth. Got to give us some money. So what do you think about Bobby Portis? And I want to say that I just need De'Aaron to be a little meaner. I wish he had that Jalen Brunson attitude. But so I'll take the comments off the air, man. Talk to you guys later.
All right, thanks, Douglas.
Great call. Good call, Douglas. I'm a huge Bobby Portis fan. I think Bobby Portis, a stretch 4 can play some 5 for you if you want, a guy that's been in the 6th man of the year running. I'm pulling up his contract right now. He just signed a deal with Milwaukee a couple of years ago. Bobby Portis has 1 year and then a player option after that at $12.5 million. I would take Bobby Portis in a heartbeat, 100%. He provides some toughness, some rebounding, some shot making. If we could somehow get a Bobby Portis, when you look at Trey Lyles, we've seen Trey, have some flashes. Well, Bobby Portis is what we want Trey Lyles to be night in and night out.
Yep.
Rebound, defend, knock down shots, provide some toughness. I would be all in on Bobby Portis.
There's nobody whose basketball opinion I respect more than Jerry Reynolds. And I know Jerry he's a big Bobby Portis fan. And I remember him when Bobby Portis was available last time saying the Kings should have got him then.
Yeah. He's exactly, what we need in terms of a front court player with a little bit more length, listed at 6'10", not a 6'8" guy that we're trying to play power forward. He's a legit power forward and can play the small ball 5 too. I like Bobby Portis a lot.
As far as De'Aaron playing like Brunson, to me, he can't because it's just a matter of how much thicker Brunson is.
The strength, yeah.
It's not a matter of me. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, Douglas. Maybe you're right, but to me, it's just like De'Aaron can't play that quite that way.
Right. Yeah, I get it, but I think Douglas too is talking about a mindset.
Yeah,
too.
he is. I know.
I think Jalen Brunson, when he steps on the floor, he has a chip on his shoulder night in and night out. He's out to prove doubters wrong, and I think he's always had that as a player. Whereas De'Aaron Fox, once you set De'Aaron Fox off or agitate him a little bit, then
or depending on who the competition is on any given night.
Exactly, depending on who's going against, whether it's Shea or an elite point guard, then that dog comes out in him. I think Jalen Brunson, it comes out every night.
Yeah, thank you, Douglas. Robert with us, Sacktown Sports. Hello, Robert. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
Good. What's up, Robert?
Hey, so I really want to I think this is the year, and I agree with you, Drapes, on Murray. There's going to be a point whether it's next year or the year after, or maybe right now, that he's kind of hit his plateau and his trade value where, he was the big thing everybody wanted supposedly in talks earlier this year. I really think we should look at shopping him, and I'll tell you why. Great kid, great personality, very nice shooter. For me, and just how I am and the way I grew up, I got to have dogs and leaders around me. I can't have somebody that gets hit and knocked down and literally just walks it off like it's not even affecting him. And I get it. You don't want it to affect your game, but it's that mindset of, I'm going to come back at you. I'm going to let you know next time you come down, and we don't have that. We've got it a little bit with Lyles and Monk, but we don't have it in the starting five. I think if we can package him, obviously we'd have to throw more money and maybe the draft pick and see what happens. We need a big three in Sac. That's the bottom line. We are not going to advance next year with what we've got. I think we all know that. Artie knows that now. It's frustrating. I'll tell you, did you guys watch the Pacers game yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
You there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you guys watch the Pacers game yesterday?
Yeah, I watched part of it, yep.
Okay. I almost had a tear come out, man. When I saw Halliburton in the huddle on everybody, I don't know if you saw that. It was up for about 10, 15 seconds. Man, and I know we had to get rid of him to get the bonus, but it almost drew a tear, and he's a competitor, and you can see it in him, and he's a leader.
Yeah.
And, what we need is a big three in Sac. And I'm worried that we go with the flow for the next 3 or 4 years, and then we got some age on De'Aaron and Sabonis. They're still young, but when you start pushing 30, then you're on kind of the downside. So I think we either need to go for it this summer, or we're just going to kind of be that mediocre team for the next 2-3 years unless we get lucky, because we're not going to get a big-time free agent.
Gotcha, Robert.
Somebody in contract.
Thank you for listening. Yeah, take it easy. It's maybe semantics, but to me, I can't. If I shop Keegan, I've already devalued him. If I'm talking trade with anybody, I'm assuming they're going to ask for him at some point. But I don't want to bring him up. You know what I mean? If I'm like, hey,
I see what you mean.
I'm already
they're like,
him.
They're looking to sell him for some reason. Yeah, I
that
get
moment
it.
when his value has gone down, I have just made it happen. I just created that moment.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to turn our attention to the National Football League.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lee Chan
Talk
from
about the
NBC
Eagles.
Sport. Well, we might squeeze in some 49er talk if that's okay. 49er insider Jennifer Lee Chan running down what exactly the 49ers accomplished in the draft. She joins us next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. Our overnight lows will drop down to about 50. Tomorrow, beautiful day. Sunshine with a light north breeze and look for highs near 80. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Grab the keys to a new fuel-efficient Toyota. Take on this new season in California with incredible MPG and peace of mind. Toyota has more hybrids and plug-in hybrids than any other brand. So hit the road with fewer fill-ups and legendary dependability. Just announced, get 0% APR plus $2,500 bonus cash, or get the lowest lease payments of the year on the all-electric BZ4X. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit ends 4/30/24.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for the participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hey there. Wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley with special guest Foghat. ZZ Top playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sacktown Sports.
Big NFL news today. Source telling Adam Schefter that the Chiefs gave Travis Kelce a new deal worth $34.25 million, $17 million fully guaranteed for this season. Most of the rest will be guaranteed on the third day of the 2025 league year. So a huge deal and raise for Travis Kelce. Jennifer Lee Chan joining us now, 49er insider from NBC Sports Bay Area. Jennifer, thanks so much for your time. We know a lot of she's going to join us in just 1 second. I'm sorry, but Drapes, I wanted to ask you before we bring her on. My apologies. What do you make? And I know you're really excited about the Eagles draft. What do you make of the 49ers draft and what people are saying?
I thought it was solid. I thought it was a nice draft. They didn't win the headlines or the newspaper clippings or anything like that. They got some depth pieces, I think, some guys that maybe down the line can help them out. But, I don't think any of these guys, and maybe I'm wrong, Jennifer is about to jump on, will be a key member of a Super Bowl team this upcoming season.
Jennifer Lee Chan joining us. Thanks, Jen. We appreciate it. How would you say fans in the Bay Area, for the most part, feel about this draft? I know they don't have that many roster spots to fill when they've been so successful. Are people happy about the draft, a little confused, or what's the feeling in the Bay Area?
I think after the first round, people were shocked. And then after the second round, they were even more like, what the heck is going on? But then I think at the end of it, I think everybody's like, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought that they were going to go skill player in the first 2 rounds. I know everybody mocked an offensive tackle to the 49ers, but honestly, if you're going to take a guy in the first round and looking at the way the draft class, yes, it was deep in tackles, but you really only have maybe 4 guys that are worthy enough for a first round pick, and they all were gone by the time 31 came around. So when you look at the tackles and, the level of them, I mean, Trent Williams is the best in the game, period. Colton McKivitz actually did a pretty good job. So when you look at it that way, if you're going to get a guy who you think is going to replace Trent Williams, how long is he going to play? Is he going to play next year for sure? Is he going to play the year after that? So are you going to use a top 10 or trade up for a top 10 pick for a guy that's not going to play for 2 years? I don't know that's very smart. So I totally understand what they did and how the draft kind of lined up. We spoke to Tariq Ahmad and RJ Gillen, who are kind of like the new Adam Peters position.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they really had to pay attention to how the draft lined up in front of them. So because of the way it was at 31, they're not going to get a guy who is going to be a tackle who can replace Trent Williams. And then you don't want to replace him that early. And it was the same thing for defensive ends. They're at 31. There are guys that they would be reaching for. You don't want to waste the 30, and obviously not waste is a strong word, but you don't want to reach for a guy with the 31st pick when you can get a guy who can help you now. And I think Ricky Pearsall is a guy who, you watch his tape. I mean, I know none of us really had a much knowledge on him, and he wasn't mocked to the 49ers at all. But when you start to read about him and watch the film, you're like, oh, this could be a game changer. So I think he's going to be instantly implemented into the system. And I think he, 4 years, 5th-year option, I think he's going to be very productive.
Hey, Jennifer, it's Kyle here. Thanks for jumping on with us. You talked about, why reach for a player. Some people say they reach for Ricky Pearsall. Why do you think they didn't draft a secondary, a cornerback in that first round, especially seeing how, many of those guys sort of slid down the list? Why do you feel like they felt like wide receiver was the pick for them?
I think, when you look at the way the wide receiver group lines up in the next couple of years, I think they're going to get a deal done with Brandon Ayuk. I don't know how much longer Deebo Samuel will be on the roster, looking at his payday and you just historically how Eric Armstead kind of, was asked to take a pay cut. Is Deebo going to be asked to take a pay cut as well? Is he going to accept it? Is he going to move on? I mean, all of that stuff is so unknown. So I think getting a guy who's going to be able to produce right away, and it's a guy who's really smart. There's not going to be that learning curve with him. He is a film junkie. He knows how to run his routes. He loves the choice route. He is, these guys have been in college longer too. I mean, you look at the guys who they drafted, everybody has been in college for 4, 5, some of them 6 years. And I think when you look at historically how the 49ers have built their roster, Brock Purdy, 4-year starter. I mean, that's who gave them a ton of production. And nothing against Trey Lance, but, he had 1 year as a starter. I think game experience has so much to do with who they went for and what they want. But I get the whole cornerback thing, but I really think they had their eyes on someone who can change the offense. And they got their cornerback in the second round. And I think, when you look at how they worked it out, this is how they figured it would. And I think that, both of them in the first and second round are going to be huge producers for them this season.
Jennifer Lee Chan with us, 49er Insider, NBC Sports Bay Area. And Jennifer, obviously there was a lot of chatter, speculation about a potential trade involving Debo or Brandon Ayuk, and even one respected Bay Area writer even said a Debo trade was likely. Based on your reporting, how close did we ever come to a trade involving either one of those players around the draft?
Less close than whoever of my colleagues was saying that. I respect all of my colleagues. I personally just never thought that they were going to trade away Debo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk throughout this process. I just didn't think so. When you look at Debo Samuel's contract, it doesn't help their cap. Like, the only reason they would do that is if someone would take that huge amount of contract money on, and it would save their cap, and it won't. Brandon Ayuk is a guy who is like just hitting his stride now, and I know Kyle Shanahan has really worked hard to get him to where he is now. The coaching staff has as well. And you look at the connection that he has with Brock Purdy, and I just don't think you take the number one target away from a young quarterback because of what it means to the offense. And I think they want to keep Brandon Ayuk around as long as they can. I think with Debo Samuel, one of the most amazing things about Debo Samuel is how he plays the game. One of the most difficult parts about how he plays the game is how physical he is, right? So some of those things take a toll on a player's body. I think it's the same with George Kittle. You know, guys that play hard, man, they're amazing to watch, and they do so much for the team. But it also does take a toll on a guy's body much quicker than guys who don't play that way.
Hey, Jennifer. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which one of the draft picks do you think can make an immediate impact? Might a guy like Isaac Guerendo get some time this season? What do you think?
I think between Ricky, you look at Isaac Guerendo, and yes, I think he can. I mean, the guy ran a 4.33. He was the fastest running back at the combine. He is also big. He's 6 feet tall, 221 pounds. That's a guy who Bobby Turner was on the phone with all the time. And I love the fact that he actually interrupted his first media availability via Zoom by calling him at the time. Bobby Turner gets fixated on certain guys, and, he loves them. And I think it's great that, if a guy like Bobby Turner likes you, there's got to be a reason for it. And with how Elijah Mitchell has, kind of been nicked up here and there, I think he definitely will see some time on the field. And I also think Ricky Pearsall and the cornerback will also see time on the field.
Renardo Green, yeah.
Renardo Green, yeah. I'm like, I keep saying Rolando, but it's Renardo.
Jennifer, what do the Niners like so much about Evan Anderson, undrafted, and they gave him $30,000 signing bonus and $250,000 guaranteed out of Florida Atlantic? What do they like about him so much?
I know, that was kind of a surprise one. So that happened after we talked to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. So we don't know a whole lot about him, but clearly with Eric Armstead moving on, they feel like there's a role on the inside that they think needs to be filled. And while they did some of that in free agency, and, shocking, they didn't take a defensive lineman at all the entire draft. They waited until, after the draft to pick one up. So there must be a reason that they really liked him. And, we'll see what happens during training camp. We talk to rookies next week. And then I'm not sure when we talk to Kyle Shanahan again, but we'll definitely try to get the inside scoop for you.
Hey, Jennifer, what's a deal for Ayuk look like, you think, now that the market from wide receivers has been set higher than I think even we thought it would go?
With the cap going up, though, I thought it was going to go up quite a bit. It does give teams a little bit more space to move around. And I think when you look at the 49ers historically, how they've mapped out contracts, for instance, Debo Samuel, he wasn't the first one that got his deal done because they kind of saw what the range was. And I honestly think that the range of money for Brandon Ayuk is probably pretty much set, right? There's only so much wiggle room between the top and where you go from there. It's often the little things that hold up a contract, the injury guarantees, when they opt out, when they can opt out, guaranteed money, those kinds of things. Now that the parameters are set, I think it's more likely that a deal gets done sooner than later.
Jennifer, we appreciate your time very much. Before we let you go, if I may, I need your advice here. I I have this friend at work, a coworker, and he's an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
And he's really obnoxious about it. And
what do you mean? She's like,
And last year when the Eagles
I know
were
about
out,
those Eagles fans.
yeah. Then he was a Packer fan in the playoffs, and then he was a Lions fan.
Right.
And I have to
Chiefs
admit,
fan.
it looks like the Eagles had a pretty good draft. I don't want to admit that to him, but how do you deal with somebody like that?
Just ignore them.
Okay.
Oh, ouch. Or you could say, yeah, the Eagles did have a good draft, guys. They did win the draft. You could say that too.
I kind of have a problem with, the team flipping back and forth so often. Like, where's the loyalty?
Yes. I only got 2 teams, Jennifer, 2 teams, the Eagles and anybody playing the Niners. Those are my 2 squads.
Wow.
Oh,
Thank
goodness.
you. Thanks, JLC.
Goodness.
We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Jennifer. That's good stuff.
That is good advice. It's hard to do, though. It's hard to do.
Yeah, you get stuck with me, big dog. I'm sorry. I got vacations coming up. Y'all can talk football all you want, you and Jay. Have your little Niners party next week when I'm not around.
He's got some vacation coming up,
Oh,
too.
he got some, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, at least the voters got Coach of the Year right with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports. Why should you? You're a Packer fan.
I got exactly. I got some things I want to say, but I'm gonna let my Packers do the talking this weekend.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
I don't know, Drapes. I don't know about your guy, Bradley Beal.
Oh, now you out on him even more, huh? What?
Bradley Beal spoke with the media today, and he was talking about how things could have gone better for the Suns, and, bless him for that. He says, in retrospect, we won 49 games. So that's a lot of games, and I missed, 30 games, roughly? It's a lot of games. I'm not saying we'd have won every game if I'd have played, but we would be in a totally different position if I'm healthy the whole year, if everybody's healthy the whole year, end quote. That's true, but that was the whole problem. How could anybody in the right mind assume that team was going to be healthy? And I don't hold that against them. Some players, fans have a hard time with them. They're hurt. Oh, they're soft, injury prone. No, I don't think players get hurt on purpose. But Beal began the season. This is the guy you want to hitch the Kings wagon to. He began the season with lower back tightness and nerve pain down his legs.
Here's the problem, Whitey.
That's the problem.
Nah. It is what it is. I hear you. But the problem is we live in this microwave society where if it doesn't work 1 year, we got to blow it up. That's why I'm saying, Phoenix, don't make any drastic decisions. Yes, the roster is flawed, but it's not like it was a disaster. Bill just said it. 49 games, yes, they were put together to win a championship, compete for a championship. They failed miserably, but they didn't even have a full training camp together.
Mm-hmm.
They only I'm looking at the same article you're reading right now, Whitey. Beal, Booker, and Kevin Durant combined, those guys, 26 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
They only played in, let me do the math, 41 games together. A 52-win pace they would have had. Think about this. Give it time. Same thing in Milwaukee. They're looking to blow it up. Oh, the Dame and Giannis didn't work out. Dude, it was just year one. Give it time. I feel like the Suns have a little bit more problems than Milwaukee does with the roster. Like I said, I feel like they need a point guard, but let's not overreact off of one season. Sweeping changes. Got to get rid of everybody. Blow it up. Trade Devin Booker. What are people talking about? It's one season. And as we know, we had our boy Jason Jones on months ago. Every season is its own individual thing. The Kings learned that the hard way this year. Just because you make the playoffs one season doesn't mean you make it the next season.
Devin Booker's going to the Knicks. Didn't you hear? Stephen A. said that's what he's told.
He's just making things up nowadays.
Devin Booker made
the streets are talking.
But I'm hearing he wants to go to the Knicks. From whom?
I don't know.
The thing with the Suns is, as you well know, that's an interesting point that you make. It's just that they do have some issues, like all teams in the offseason. Everybody has some things they have to address, and it's really difficult for them to address any of them because they're so cash-strapped that they don't even – A, they don't have money. B, they don't have, mid-level exceptions available to them because they're paying so much money and they're into the luxury taxes.
No, they're in a bind. They're in a pickle.
Yeah.
And Brad Beal would be the guy that I would trade if I'm them.
No trade clause for Bradley Beal.
No trade, but somebody will want him. He got to go somewhere, right?
You want him here.
I wouldn't mind him. No, exactly. I wouldn't mind him at all. 20-point per game scorer, 18 this past season, 43% three-point shooter. Guy that's your third or fourth option. Better system. Isn't just going to come in and take turns like he did in Phoenix. I think Bradley Beal here in Sacramento would be a nice little move.
I just want guys that are all league, not all hospital. That's all.
Hey, give me some guys there. See, that's the problem, Whitey. I'm coming up with all the names. I'm coming up with all the names. Everybody clowning me on social media, on Twitter, on the YouTube and the text line. Give me somebody better.
Well, there's no need to clown you for anything because that's all we're doing is spitballing here. But this guy he's hurt a lot. That's all. And you know that. He's a lot younger than Durant. I know, and I don't know. I'd have to do some research. 57 games, 60, 40, 50, 53 his last 5 years. Has he had the same problems all along, or is it just a series of issues? I don't know, but I can't rely on that. That's my feeling as far as the Kings go.
Well, the problem is, and we've talked about it, the Kings are in a bind right now. You know, we got the mid-level. Is that all we're going to do this offseason? Does that move the needle for you? Using a $12 million mid-level?
Draft somebody and get the mid-level.
Like, does that doesn't move you into the top four. If I'm Kings fans right now, I'm looking at, we were 10th, 9th overall, I guess, in the Western Conference. We missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That cannot happen again. Mm-hmm. That's unacceptable. We need to do something. And it didn't just come down to health, because even when we had Malik and Kevin, we're losing to the Washingtons of the world and the Charlottes and things like that. This team needs to be upgraded, man.
Yeah, especially when you consider, like Hunter Patterson told us today, the team that you had last year, there's a really good chance that you're going to lose a key piece of that.
Yeah,
before you even start adding things, you're losing something.
And how damaging would that be? Yeah, to lose Malik Monk. And so that's why
one of your top three players, right?
I think so. I think so, because he was pretty much consistent all season long. And I think if you're Sacramento, that's your problem. It's like you may lose Malik for nothing, and they can't replace a guy of the similar value. Mm-hmm. You know, and somebody in the text line, I think it was, or YouTube chat way earlier, brought up the guy I've been talking about, Gary Trent Jr.
Yes,
as a possible replacement.
I think that was the text line.
Yeah, as a possible. I would like that. If Malik left, I think Gary Trent Jr., that's what we should set our sights on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gives you a lot of that shooting. He's not Malik, but yeah, you need shooting. That, to me, is the number one thing they need going into next year is shooting, and he would give you that. Do you agree that the voting on awards has been a little iffy, to say the least, but I think they got the Coach of the Year right?
Mark Daigneault?
Yeah,
I think so. He's done a great job. Chris Finch has done a hell of a job also.
Third place.
Yeah. Oh, he was certainly. Jamal, all three of those guys.
Joe Mazzulla fourth.
Oh, Mazzulla fourth.
Tibbs and then Spo.
No, I think all those guys were deserving. And I think they got it right, because OKC went from nowhere out of the playoffs to the number one seed. Nah, you got to give them their love. Mark Daigneault's doing a hell of a job. You know, Sam Presti running things. Like, the way they're built, and they got still a stockpile of draft picks, Whitey. They're not done drafting or making moves. Like, they might be one player away from, really, challenging Denver in the West.
What do you think of what Jalen Williams has been wearing to games?
Oh, my gosh. I love Jalen Williams. I love him. Did you see the outfit today? I don't even know what that was.
It's like a leather motorcycle thing with a leather. It almost looks like a leather sea diver's helmet or something. It's just,
unbelievable, man. He's a character, but that whole team is. I was looking at a redraft of that class.
Yeah.
Of the 2022 draft class, and how great it was. Where would our guy Keegan Murray be in a redraft? Because Jalen Williams was part of that also. That's tough. You still got Paolo. You still got Chet.
No, I wasn't here then, but the Kings weren't considering Jalen Williams then, right? With that,
no.
He was not
at all. He wasn't on that radar.
Jaden Ivey's the one everybody wanted.
Yeah, Jaden Ivey was the guy. I was a big Jaden Ivey fan. I'm a Ben Mathurin fan too. I still like Ben Mathurin. I thought one of those, but then draft day, I thought, you know what? It's going to be Keegan Murray, and it was. But, man, when you look at that 2022 draft, man, there's some studs coming out of there right now.
Typically the Coach of the Year is the coach of the most surprising team. I think that's been the case the last 2 years, but both last 2 years also, you have to say, yep, boom. I still think Mike Brown in some ways did as good of a job this year as he did last year, but I'm not saying he should have gotten Coach of the Year votes.
Nah, not this year.
He had to deal with a lot more adversity this year.
No, you're right, man. We talked about it too. When you look at the West, the adversity, the injuries, kept everything together, the expectations, and only to be 2 games off last year's pace. I thought he did a hell of a job.
NBA's got a problem. Why are so many fine players injured, and what are they going to do about that? Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, are you ready to give up because you think you've tried everything and you're still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento has local medical providers that offer low T and ED treatments customized to each patient's unique physical makeup. By working with a specialized compounding lab, personalized treatments are guaranteed, even when generic pills and supplements haven't worked. It all starts with your free comprehensive exam and consultation. Availability is limited. Book today, and for this month only, Revive offers qualified patients a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. The experts at Revive Men's Health Sacramento will work to provide the right treatment for you so you can show up as the best you in all aspects of your life. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or send them a private message at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm surprised at how many players wait too long to have their golf clubs regripped. I'll pick up my playing partner's clubs when they're left near the green, and that's when I notice that some of the problems in their games could be attributed to worn golf grips. If yours are shiny or worn when you play, you're probably gripping the club too strongly for fear of losing it during a swing. The golf grip is your connection to the club, and fresh grips let you hold the club lightly, promoting proper swing mechanics and swing action. Many of us simply replace the grips with the same product that was on the club, but with so many different types of materials, colors, tackiness, softness, and more, you'll find plenty of sizes and colors to fit your game and your personality. Your local pro shop or club fitter can re-grip your clubs, or you can purchase a kit and do it yourself. Either way, re-gripping once a year is an inexpensive and fast way to bring a noticeable change to your game and to give your clubs that new club feel. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Just seconds left in the first quarter. Boston leading Miami 34-22. We've been talking all day about how perhaps the Kings can find a way to scoop and score one of these Sun stars if the Suns decide to break it up. And we're going to get into the fact that there are just way too many NBA players hurt right now. I know that's part of the game and it happens every year, but it seems like it's worse this year. And we're just wondering if the league's player participation policy had anything to do with that. Before we get into any of that, Drapes, I got to get something off my chest. And I'm doing this on your behalf as well, although maybe it doesn't bother you as much as it bothers me. I'm not the neatest guy, but I try to respect other people's workspaces. Can you see, and I apologize, those of you on the radio can't see this. You see this?
Is that a salad bowl?
This is a salad bowl.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that Dave's?
Who knows? And someone's been eating their salad there.
I'm about to text him.
There ain't but about 4 people that it could be, really.
Hold on, Whitey.
The fork is in there, and you can see someone was eating because you can see for this do the little CSI work, the striations from the fork on the side.
Oh my God, that is gross.
Yeah, someone ate their salad and then left it there. There's also this, Drapes. And I moved this over here where I could grab it, but we've had this in the studio for a few days.
Oh, the dog bed is still here?
Yeah.
You know what it is? See, here's the problem.
And I'm nothing against. I'm sure the dog didn't, bring this in.
Got the toy too?
Yeah. There's maybe a bit of an odor. Yeah, that's over there in our workspace.
See, some people think they could just run things around here, Whitey. We don't play that.
We try to be respectful, right?
You know what?
Of our coworkers.
You know what my dad would do? He'd get a trash bag and just clean up everything. Bobbleheads over there, helmets, salt and pepper shaker. Why you got a salt and pepper shaker in the studio?
That's a good question. Yeah.
When's the last time you put salt and pepper? And I eat in the studio.
Well,
I eat, but I don't use the salt and pepper.
We needed it for the salad, right?
It's the salad bowl. It's only one person because Alan Stiles wouldn't do that.
No.
Oh, Carmichael Dave says no. Likely Alan's. I just texted him.
Really?
Yes. Surprising. I thought it was his.
All right. Alan. That's disappointing.
Wow. Let me, I thought 100 it was Dave's. Wow.
I think the dog bed is Dave's. I think.
Yeah, definitely. That
what gave it away to me, and that's why I said it could only be, I know we were pinpointing CD, but you don't normally eat a salad that early. And that's why I was like, could be somebody else. Got to keep that back door open.
And Dave doesn't seem like a salad guy.
No, he doesn't.
He's a fire wings, that kind of guy.
You're right.
He's not a salad guy.
How about that?
Exactly. I just He said, I thought 100 it was yours. Why would you think that? Question mark. Do I look like I eat salad? Exactly. You're right. Yes, you're right. Oh, he put it in a trash can.
Papa Draper style.
Oh, he did it. How come? You know what the problem too is? And Jay, you've been around here too long enough. When they bring free stuff in, like donuts and pizza, but because we're at the end of the shift,
that's true.
We get the leftovers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's all dried
up and everything.
Crinkly.
Right. It's the donuts nobody eat.
And people are too busy.
Right.
Yeah.
I hate that, man.
Yeah. People are too busy to bring us stuff because they're working.
Right.
They can't drop something off on the way. Yeah.
See, now if we were at the Golden One Center, we would have popcorn, donuts, pizza, whatever you want. Hopefully somebody maybe listening down in sales can swing us an afternoon deal. You know what I mean? How about that? A lunch deal where we come in, we already have like subs here or something like that.
I guess Styles is going after a big lettuce endorsement. I don't know.
Is it right with the salad, right? Let me ask you guys this. Is lettuce the most worthless food in the history of food?
It's close.
Like, iceberg lettuce is pretty.
Iceberg lettuce is pretty bad. Lettuce is the one thing you can't eat by itself. I mean, you can, but nobody eats lettuce by itself.
I've yet to see it.
There are times when I have salad and I don't put dressing on it.
Is it just lettuce?
I can't do that.
Or do you have other things?
I have other things.
See? No dressing? Like oil or something at least?
No,
or
just
dry?
Yeah.
Just all minerals?
All minerals.
Wait a minute. So
carrots, and especially if it's got beets. Beets are good.
Oh, no, they taste like dirt.
No, I can't do beets.
No, white?
I
Nah,
can't do
it.
beets. That gives you some juice and some flavor. You don't need the dressing.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
Beets might be up there for me too, Drapes. Like the worthless, most worthless
I'm
food.
with you. I'm with you, man.
But I think they have some nutritional value, whereas
they do.
You know, iceberg lettuce, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. There's nothing.
There's nothing. You can't eat it by itself. Like you can even eat a tomato by itself. Like
throw
a little salt up on there.
Sure.
It's eat like But lettuce,
and tomato go like tomato paste, different sauces. There's a bunch of things you can do with tomato.
Right.
Can't really do much with a lettuce.
Yeah.
You know what this is? How about this, fellas?
Yeah.
My dog, he'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Like absolutely anything.
What kind of dog?
Old English Bulldog.
Oh, okay.
Right. Will absolutely eat anything you put on the ground. Something falls is over with. Like he's a vacuum. He's the shark on the ground. You throw down lettuce, nah. I'm turning it up.
He won't even eat lettuce.
He will not eat lettuce. Now he'll take lettuce if it has dressing on it. Like I've seen him, man, finish the salad. Let me see if you eat it. And he eats it. Right.
Yeah.
I've seen my dog eat anything, man. It'd be times we're walking and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
And he's over there eating something I didn't, couldn't see. Wasn't good dog parent at the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've seen him turn down lettuce.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him turn down lettuce and I've seen him turn down onions.
We used to, I may have told the story. We used to have this dog that was a husky, and the vet, they said that dog may be part wolf. He just looked at, he's a really cool dog. His name is Orion. And we had a barbecue one time. And then we had some of those meatless hot dogs, And one of them fell. I was like, here you go, boy. And he just looked at me like,
he didn't eat the meatless hot dogs.
He just gave me a look.
He
too,
knew
like,
it was fake.
The Beyond, what is it called? Like the Beyond
meatless. Yeah.
He just gave me a look like, are you kidding me? Really right now?
Take that back.
That's good stuff.
All right.
Lettuce.
Well, we'll get the area cleaned up a little bit. Like I said, I'm not the neatest person, but there's
ridiculous.
lines that should not be crossed.
You can't leave your old lettuce salad bowl in here. That's
So thank you. If we're a little off our game sometimes, now you know why. So we're doing our best here.
That's an OSHA violation, right? Hey, seriously, man. We gotta go to Rachel in HR or something. Complaint.
Yes. When we come back, Jay and I'm not sure how you feel about this, Rapes. Jay and I have a real issue with all the injuries in the NBA. Next, Drive Guy Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
From the 916, Iceberg is trashy green water, but romaine is packed with vitamins. Yeah. We were talking earlier about surprises in the NBA playoffs, and if you had someone had told you before the playoffs started that Indiana would be handling Milwaukee, that'd probably be a surprise, except that what? Giannis is hurt, Dame's hurt. Kawhi has been hurt. Of course, Kawhi has been dealing with injuries for a long time. We know that. But I believe Jamal Murray is questionable tonight. There's a lot of players that are hurt right now. And I know that happens this time of year after a long season. But wasn't this the year the NBA was supposed to do something about all that with the player participation policy?
Right.
They were going to get more players playing in the regular season. I'm wondering, Drapes, if perhaps it's backfired now where players got worn down by trying to keep up with the stupid player participation policy.
Yeah, and we watching this Boston-Miami game. No Jimmy Butler, no Terry Rozier. So even they're dealing with it. And it kind of waters down the playoffs, if you ask me. Like a lot of big names just aren't playing. I mean, you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, like you said, not only Giannis, but Dame as well. That's tough, man. You might be right, man. You know, so-called load management might actually be the way to go instead of putting all the miles on the players' bodies and things like that.
Right, because teams know, look, the main thing is we've got to have our best players healthy for the postseason. So how do they do that? They tried to rest players during the regular season. The season's just too long.
Why is it too long today, but wasn't too long in 85?
Because
in
it's
95?
a lot longer now with all the playoffs.
So do you cut down the playoffs or the regular season?
You have to cut down the regular season, I think, or just continue on this path and say, well, you have to play. You have to play your 65 games to qualify for the awards.
Or we go back to load management.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
I understood load management. I know sometimes it got a little extreme, but baseball players don't play for the most part 162. Some of them do, but players need rest.
Yeah.
So to me, it made sense that, okay, maybe in the old days, guys played every game. Maybe we're just smarter now, and we know that players need more rest.
Right.
I hate to argue in favor of load management, but what I'm trying to do is argue against having so many guys hurt in the postseason.
Well, and here's the thing about that, Whitey, and I brought up this point before. People always say, well, back in my day, Jordan played, all these guys played, they never missed games, but their careers were what, 9, 10, 11 years? The trade-off having load management is we get to see these guys 17, 18, 19 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather see that or 10, 11 years of LeBron James?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there is a trade-off. I am for load management. I think, playing all 82 games, I get it. It's a badge of honor. Remember, I said it. That guy right behind you could have used some load management, Domantas Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
He could have used a few days off. He would have been stronger down the stretch. And so I'm all for load management. I don't know if it leads to more injuries
That's
or not.
Thing. You can't prove it.
Right. You can't prove that. Well, if he would have taken off, but in terms of lengthening the careers and everything, I think, I'm for load management. Like you said, Kawhi's out, you look at Miami, all the teams are dealing with something pretty much. And instead of being who's the best team, it's who's the healthiest team.
Right.
You know, you look at my Philadelphia. Embiid's out there with one leg right now, you know, and so it's
and Julius Randle's not playing
Zion.
in that series.
Zion. I forgot about Zion. Yeah, everybody's dealing. It's just too much, man.
Yeah. Now it's an easy argument against because, like you just pointed out, you can't say for certain that if these guys played fewer games, they'd be playing now. You can't say that, but there is this. When the league came out with their player participation policy, you could look this up. They had somebody say there is no link showing that load management prevents injuries. Okay, so the league said, see that?
They came out with
but
that.
They also said, but we don't know whether it does or not. That's what they said. They said, we can't tell. But the league only presented half of it that said, we don't see a link.
Right.
But you look up the research. The researcher said, we don't know. It might not.
Right.
So that was that was so
Inconclusive,
disingenuous.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense, right? If I play fewer games, I'm less likely to get hurt.
Right. It just it makes sense, right? And so I don't know what the league should do about it. The 65 game thing, to me, I think backfired for them this season because you mentioned Kawhi and the Clippers. Kawhi could have load managed and been there when it matters the most. So now you're telling this fan base, Clippers organization, oh, sure, he played 70-something games, but when it mattered the most, he wasn't there. And that's what load manage is always about. It's not about the 82. It's about making sure your players are available to compete for a championship as best as you can. And so I'm with you, man. It's just I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think the league could work with the players more as partners rather than as trying to say, you need to play. And I think the league is disingenuous the way they present it to us.
Yeah.
The first team that figured out the load management and the benefit of it was the Spurs.
Yep.
A great Spurs team that had older players.
Yep.
Like it makes sense for us to rest our guys some.
Exactly. And ultimately.
And the product is better for that. And if the product's better, the business is better for business.
Is better. And I think ultimately, as an organization, you're only responsible for your own fan base. You're only, you got to do what's best to win. And if your organization thinks playing this guy only 60 games helps us in the postseason, who am I to argue that? No, you got to play, back in the 70s and 80s, guys played hurt all the time. And now look at some of these guys walking around and everything like that. And so I'm for load management. I'm not for, I don't feel like playing today. But if you wake up with a back or you got 5-7 or 3-5 and you're a LeBron James at 39 years old, that's understandable. Take some time off. You're some of these older players because it's taxing on your body.
And if it's not load management, okay, then I think the league, that's fine. If you don't want to go that way, fine. And I know a lot of fans get upset. Load management is terrible. The league, I think, has to do something because it's a big problem for the league. This is the time of year when you're making your money. And it's so sad. A team like Milwaukee, they're probably out now because two of their best players got hurt at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's
that's really what it should come down to. It comes down to that too often.
But
in the NBA.
I'll push back though and say, do we know that the 65 game threshold or whatever impacted these teams in the postseason?
No,
we don't know. That's the thing. We just don't know. It's sad though because you play a full season, you earn a spot, and you look at Milwaukee, your top two guys are down. You have no shot. I'm looking at Miami going against the Celtics. They're scrappy, they're gamers, but they have zero shot of winning this playoffs. So it's frustrating.
I don't think we can go back and forth on load management. Like I said, I know it's very unpopular. And so to argue in favor of load management, that's probably a losing cause right now. But I don't think the player participation policy made anything better.
No, I didn't. I mean,
other than it gave the league a chance to say, see that? We're going to make our players play.
And think about it. We talked about Tyrese Halliburton earlier this season.
Well, he's a big example.
Because of the 65 game threshold, he's pushing himself to play. And then the fact that you don't even get credit for a game if you don't play more than 20 minutes, which is like, I think there will be some changes to that. I think the Players Association will push back. I don't know what the magic number is, though, Whitey. Is it 60 games? Is it 58 games? I don't know what the magic number is, because And why do some awards have it and some don't? I go back to Bogdanovich coming off the bench 30 games and getting votes for Sixth Man of the Year. It just doesn't make sense.
The cynical answer, and I have no idea whether it's true, is that, well, they wanted to make sure Wemby won the Rookie of the Year, so they made sure that they didn't have those limits on Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, right?
I have no idea, but, you can't help but look at that.
Maybe you might be right, because they knew.
And I think he ended up playing enough anyway, I think.
Oh, did he? All right. Yeah. So I don't know what they do, man, but it has ruined the playoffs to an extent. Like,
do you think Steve Kerr's right when he says the season's just too long and you got to play? What does he play? Like closer to 60, I think.
I don't like that.
Then you start losing dates.
Then you start losing dates. You start losing money. Players' contracts become smaller. Ad dollars. All that factors in, and so. I don't think there's any chance that'll happen because basically, look at the NFL. They're going the other way. They're adding games. They're trying to make more money. I can't see a day where the NBA says, you know what? We're going to cut off 20% of our season. I just don't see it happen.
By the way, Wemby, he played 71 games this year, 71 starts, and he played 29.7 minutes per game.
Okay, there you go. See?
Yeah. So he's in the clear. Do you think Durant could be the superstar that would join him in San Antonio?
That's a good
Brian
question.
Windhorst says the Spurs are going to add a superstar. Could they be the team that ends up with Kevin Durant?
It would work. I think it would work. It would be intriguing. That's for sure. I don't see it, though. If I'm KD, as great as Wemby
you're
is.
You're staying, right? If you're
I'm staying. Like, if you pair up with Wemby, does that move you closer to a championship in the next year or two? I don't think so.
I don't know. And like we were saying, who knows what he wants?
Right.
Does he just want the ball all the time and doesn't care if they win, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. What does Kevin Durant want? Does he want the ball all the time? Does he want to go to compete for championships? I have no idea, but the Spurs, as intriguing as that would be, can you imagine that front line? Kevin Durant and Wemby, 2 7-footers in that front line like that? I just don't see it happening.
Didn't he talk to them when he was a free agent before he joined the Warriors? I think he talked to the Spurs.
Yeah, Celtics were in that mix too. He met with the Spurs, Celtics, Warriors, maybe one other team.
It's getting sad, isn't it?
It is.
Durant legacy.
He's going to be that journeyman, man. He's going to be, I hate to say it, sort of like Vince Carter towards the end, if he wants to keep playing, just bouncing around, bouncing. It doesn't seem like he's chasing the title, though.
No, it doesn't.
It seems, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like,
he's looking for something and he can't find it. And every place he plays, like, nah, it's not here.
It's not that. Yeah, it's not it. I hope they don't trade him. I hope he stays. I hope him and Booker stay teaming together. The guy I would move is Bradley Beal and run it back again. Because if you remember, I thought last year they had a successful run. I think Booker got hurt down the stretch, and so they flamed out in the playoffs. But that's a good 1-2 combination with the right point guard.
Hey, speaking of surprises, we've touched on that. Are you surprised at all? I'm a little surprised the way the Clippers have been handling Dallas, even though the Clippers have had some injuries.
Well, think about it. They're 2-0 without Kawhi and 0-2 with Kawhi.
Yeah,
it doesn't. And that's another guy that people bring up, Paul George, who I think can become a free agent, has a player option, I believe, and he's going to opt out.
I just don't see. I'd be great, but why would he? I don't see it.
Him leaving LA or coming to Sacramento?
Yeah. We'll look at it when we come right back. Also, Tough Kings offseason question number 1. Was Sasha a bust? Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. Our overnight lows will drop down to about 50. Tomorrow, beautiful day. Sunshine to the light north breeze and look for highs near 80. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-high rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. Welcome to the April Adventure Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville. Are you ready for an extraordinary experience? We're excited to introduce you to the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. During April Adventure, come and explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. It's not just a vehicle, it's a lifestyle with this seamless blend of sophistication and practicality. The Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to new heights. Whether you're embarking on a family road trip or navigating the urban jungle, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Plus, with Kia's commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with confidence wherever the road takes you. Don't miss this opportunity to experience the extraordinary Kia Telluride for yourself. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and take advantage of exclusive offers during the April Adventure Sales Event. Your adventure begins here. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We're just talking about greens. So, Jay, throwing in some Green Day. It turns out Drapes is a big Green Day fan.
I am. On holiday, yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm distracted here. Kristaps Porzingis hobbling off the floor in Miami. He knows something's up. This was a non-contact injury, I think. They're showing it here. You see, he took a bad step.
Yeah.
Wow. We were just talking about injuries in the league, and you see immediately he waves to the bench. Sub.
Just on a dribble handoff, but nobody contacted him.
Wow.
Huh.
That could be major. That could shake things up in the Eastern Conference if Kristaps Porzingis is a no-go. So we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, if we find out anything, we'll let you know. But Man, that's tough.
Yeah, and I don't know what the answer is, but I think the league needs to take a hard, honest look at it rather than play it from the PR standpoint of we want our players to play every game. I think they need to try to figure out what can we do about this. Gabriel Johnson on the chat asks, would it have helped the Kings to load manage Sabonis and Fox if they ended up the 11th seed? Well, interesting point. Well, he's saying, load management, the Kings they had to play those guys. They had to play to win as many games as they did. Yes, Gabriel, the Kings didn't have the luxury of load managing those guys because
I could argue, look at the way the Kings finished the stretch of the season. Maybe if you take off a couple of games in December and January, you got more left in the tank come March and April, and maybe you win those games. We don't know. Gabriel, it's no, and we saw Fox sit out games and we won those games. That doesn't necessarily mean we lose those games. And so I disagree with his point right there.
I get the sense, and you would know better than I because you're around him a lot more. I get the sense Domas would be a guy to say, no, I'm playing.
He wants to play. Yeah, he's a guy that's playing through everything. He's not trying. And I believe playing 82 was a goal of his this season, being out there night in and night out.
Yeah. One of the things I'll never forget when we talk about load management, reading that book about when Michael Jordan came back to the Wizards. He came back and he was playing well after being away from the game for a few years, but his knee started flaring up and he wouldn't rest him. And some people say if he had load managed when he came back those last 2 years, and they were not terrible,
right?
They would have gone. He would have been able to play a lot more. But in his mind, it's like, I have to play.
He got to play.
A game. I have to play.
And I think it's a mentality that's sort of shifted over the last 20, 30 years, whatever, where these players today, they're all in, and I think it's the rings culture. We've devalued the regular season and put so much emphasis on the postseason and competing for a championship that these players, in their minds, a game, in December isn't as important. And so if I could save some time and not play early, but I'll have gas in the tank late to push for the playoffs and the championship, I'd rather do that.
Your buddy Compio says if you play 60% of the regular season games, you should not be paid in the upper 80% of the top annual salaries.
Nah,
that's not how salaries work.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Compio, what are you talking about?
I mean, I understand what he's saying, but it just, you don't get paid game by game. You have your guaranteed deal and you play when
exactly.
you can.
And you could argue sitting out games is like having sick time. You know what I mean? You could argue that. So I disagree.
All right, here's a tough question for you, Drapes. Was Sasha Vezenkov a bust? If you don't want to answer first, I'll answer first.
Go ahead. I'll let you answer
on the spot. Too early to tell. He was a huge disappointment this year. I think he's just as disappointed as anybody with the injuries. He just talked recently about the year he had, and he said how difficult it was and how good everybody is and how much he misses home. But I think the Kings thought that he was their kind of under the radar move that was going to really pay off this year. For a lot of reasons, it didn't. So I think it's too early. Bust is somebody who can't play. I still think he can play. This year, it just did not work out. It was a big disappointment.
It was a disappointment, but I wouldn't label him a bust either. Maybe I'd label him incomplete. I don't know. The injury set him back. I don't think the system was perfect for him. We talked earlier in the season about how overseas he had the ball in his hands a lot more.
Right.
Now all he is charged with doing is running around and shooting. I'd like to see him with the ball a little. I think adjusting to the NBA game is different for him too. And so I'm not going to label him a bust, but I will say he fell short of our expectation.
And I'm sure his too.
Yeah, his too, right? Exactly. You coming over a EuroLeague MVP, when you look at what the Kings did, he was their big offseason move. He was their, big signing or big, bringing him over. And it just didn't pan out because of injuries. And when he did play, he looked lost out there at times. And I said this, early in the season. I wish, and Mike Brown, sometimes had him in the rotation, out of the rotation. I wish Mike gave him a good 10 to 15 game stretch, 15 to 20 minutes a game, 23 minutes to show me what he can do. But too many times we saw Sasha play 2 or 3 games, sit out 2 or 3 games, play a couple, sit out, and he never was able to get into a rhythm or a flow of the NBA.
So for the season, You may remember this. Remember, I think I said he was going to start 40 games.
Yeah.
He only played 42. He didn't start any. So that didn't work out.
That didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah. 5.4 points a game, but he did shoot, made 80% of his free throws, and shot 38% from the 3-point stripe. And
Yeah.
that's, he never really had his rhythm.
Right.
For
That's
the
what I'm
year,
saying.
he shot 44%, but 38% from the 3-point line. So it's there. He can shoot.
Yes. Can I make an early bold prediction?
That's up to Jay. I don't.
What do you mean
have
that's up to Jay?
Jay has to allow it or not. I don't have that kind of authority.
Yeah, you good. Let's go.
I think, and this has nothing to do with Sasha, Fox, no individual player. I think we will see a different Sacramento Kings offense next season.
You mean like
the actual way they run the offense will be changed next
Pick and
season.
roll. You're going pick and roll.
I'm going a lot more pick and roll next season. Take the ball out of Domas' hands so much, it will be a much more blended, varied offense next season. I don't even know if that's bold or not, but that's my prediction right now. They can't continue the way it's currently constructed, in my opinion.
I agree with you, and I think that's terrific. I don't know if how much they're not going to want to admit that. It's going to be
they're not right.
We're working in some other things, not like that offense was terrible.
That didn't work. Right.
Yeah, but I'm with you. We talked to Hunter Patterson about that. It does look like teams caught on to what the Kings had so much success with last year, running the ball through Domas in the high post.
Yeah, I think, like you said, teams caught on to it. At times it looked like we were, trudging through the mud offensively. We're searching for something. And I think, the conversation we had last week about De'Aaron Fox, allowing him to be great, even better than what he is, put more responsibility on him for decision-making, I think that's what will happen. That's just my guess. No inside stuff or anything, but I'd like to see the ball in his hands a little bit.
Yeah. Even the year they had so much success, the light the beam year, the make the playoffs year, they had two different offenses. They had 3 quarters of running the offense through Domas, and then they had Fox time, right?
Fox time, yeah. And I felt like Fox time sort of disappeared a little bit, Even in the fourth, we saw, them trying to run the same offense. But I think ultimately, in the NBA to win, especially late in games, you got to put the ball in your best player's hands. And I'd like to see the ball in De'Aaron Fox's hands. Now, it's on Foxy, to Jay's point that we've been talking about for years now. He has to get better at his decision-making and, his passing, hitting open guys, making his teammates better. But I think that's the next step for him, man. If I'm Mike Brown, putting the ball in his hands.
How much do you think the Kings offense missed, not just Malik scoring, but his playmaking after he went out?
That was so huge. I mean, I thought that was so massive. I thought, late in games, even early in games, we talked about it. Malik sets up Domas brilliantly. Not to have another guy you have to worry about putting the ball on the deck. Another guy, if you're the defense, you have to respect. And so I thought that was huge. I thought, how many games did Malik miss? I think 9 or something like that. 10 games, I think. That probably cost us 2 or 3 wins, not having him. So from 46, we should have 49 or 50 wins.
And then if he leaves, and then
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Even if he stayed, it's like, wow, we got work to do.
We got work to do, exactly. And if he leaves, first phone call I'm making, Gary Trent Jr., guy that can handle the rock, can shoot the ball. Not quite the playmaker, but he's a threat out there on the perimeter. I would love to have him.
You may not know off the top of your head, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but would that be maybe the full mid-level or?
Probably. Yeah. I don't think he's a $5 or $6 million kind of guy. Whitey's looking like, he's like, I don't know if I want him then. I don't know.
No, I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if I can I'm not sure what he made last year. I have to look that up. You don't want to, if he made 16 or something, you go, here's 12.9.
You might be right. I got his numbers right here really quickly. Gary Trent Jr., he made 17 this last season. Well, 18.5 with a player option. Now he's about to be, so he might be too rich for our blood. Yeah. Dang. Ooh, it's going to be tough.
It is.
It's going to be tough.
When we come back, the Giants are going to be at Fenway Park this week. So what is your favorite venue to watch a game from? Even on TV, are there any places where, I got to watch because they're playing in that place? Next, as we wrap it up here, Sacktown Sports Drive, guys.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, are you ready to give up because you think you've tried everything and you're still dealing with loss of energy, poor sleep, weight gain, and even ED? Revive Men's Health Sacramento has local medical providers that offer low T and ED treatments customized to each patient's unique physical makeup. By working with a specialized compounding lab, personalized treatments are guaranteed, even when generic pills and supplements haven't worked. It all starts with your free comprehensive exam and consultation. Availability is limited. Book today, and for this month only, Revive offers qualified patients a free 1-month supply of personalized ED medication, plus a free ED treatment producing immediate results. The experts at Revive Men's Health Sacramento will work to provide the right treatment for you so you can show up as the best you in all aspects of your life. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or send them a private message at revivemenshealth.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Everybody was really nice, and the ushers were nice. They didn't want us holding up their banners when people were trying to see.
Right.
That's
understandable.
Yeah, there was nothing to any of them being told not to chant, I guess.
I know why Major League Baseball scheduled A's Pirates.
Why is that?
They didn't want to mess up 2 box office. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
okay.
if nobody's going to show up to see the Pirates no matter where they're playing, and the A's aren't drawing, so let's just confine them to 1, take 1 hit on that, series, and then everything.
Maybe so.
Man, I don't know.
Maybe so. Yeah. So we have that coming up here, and then the Giants are in Boston starting tomorrow. Fenway Park. I've never been ever been a Red Sox fan, but I have to admit I like watching games there. Are there any games?
Being in attendance?
No. I've been to Boston once. I haven't been to a game there, but watching on TV.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, it is.
Are there
nice.
any other arenas, stadiums? I remember my dad used to talk about listening to basketball games on Madison Square Garden. He said, I want to hear it, even if it's on the radio. Nice. It's the Garden.
It's the theater seating, lighting, and everything. Madison Square Garden is special.
Lambeau in the winter.
Oh, Lambeau was a great one. You know where I liked, and this was, and not the actual stadium, just the environment around it. Texas, Dallas, the Cowboys Stadium. The tailgating.
You mean the old one with the hole in the roof?
No, even the new one. I'm not saying the actual inside, but like just walking up and the tailgating, and all you hear is Wiz Khalifa, we them boys. It's like, ooh, they're about their business down here. But I like that one. I actually like, people think I'm crazy, man. I actually like Staples Center.
You mean going there?
Going there.
Yeah.
And you know why? Crypto.com. Yeah, I'm sorry, crypto.com. Because of the celebrities. And I've told this story before. When I was in Boston, people used to be like, oh, that place sucks. People are more concerned with the celebrities than what's happening in the games. And I'm like, yeah, I went there seeing Denzel, Andy Garcia, Nicholson. And then, you see Beyonce. So Beyonce and Jay-Z came to a Celtics game in Boston. Everybody forgot about the game. People are taking pictures. It's like people say that in Boston because they don't get no celebs here. That's why when you get somebody of that kind of it's yes. And so I like all of them, man. What's some of the worst though? That's what we need to talk about.
Current or all time?
All time.
I mean, Candlestick was miserable.
Yeah,
we all had good times there. That place was nasty.
It was
it was just so cold and miserable.
Can we say the Coliseum right now?
It's got a sense of charm.
Right.
It's a dump, but it's our dump.
There.
You know what I miss, Jay, is I don't miss Candlestick, but I kind of miss going to concerts and basketball games at Roracle.
Really? That's a good one.
Yeah. And it was so that was the first NBA game I ever saw.
They still got concerts running through there, though.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
But let me ask you this: the venue wasn't good.
It wasn't bad.
But
all right.
Yeah,
it was okay, right?
The fans brought it.
But the fans brought it. Yeah,
and they remodeled it.
Did they?
Yeah, around 2000 or something. They did redo it.
Yeah,
but, that was a nice. Just the sight lines and everything for basketball were really nice in there.
Do you care about that kind of stuff, fellas? Like,
no, not for me.
The bells and whistles, and or is it all about the fan experience inside? Like when you're sitting down in your seat. Does it, like you said, Roracle? Does it come to life? Because Madison Square Garden isn't nice when it comes to the concessions and the ease of movement and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, you compare Candlestick to say, what is it now? Oracle Park, and it's night and day.
Night and day.
But I still think for most of these places, the real nice amenities are for people that. I mean, I'm just not in that. I don't travel in circles.
Yeah, casual.
So.
You're like me going to Santa Clara Levi Stadium in the last row with my back against the gate.
Yeah.
That's you like that place, Jay? I don't.
Not Levi for me. I thought they missed.
People when they first built that, people were very critical.
I agree.
They said it had no soul.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They definitely went corporate.
They kind of started winning, then all of a sudden, it has a soul.
All of a sudden, we got sold.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We played the tambourine.
Yeah.
One of the ones, and this sounds super strange, but I like Minute Maid. I like Houston.
Ooh, down there.
Yeah, I like Houston's ballpark
there.
just because of the weird, cuts and the way they built that. I really liked it. I wasn't a fan of the middle, the center field hill, which they took away from that, because they're hurting people. But I like the way it's cut. The amenities. It's huge. It's wide open. Last time I was there, a couple years ago, I watched the ball game, and I really like Minute Maid. I like H-Town. That's one of my favorites.
I used to like watching games that were played in Yankee Stadium, and now I know the new Yankee Stadium.
Not the same, huh?
It's not.
Yeah.
It was like playing in a museum or something before.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this, because this is something they're talking about in Philly. All the stadiums are out by the airport. They're talking about building a new one downtown. Does that matter to you guys at all? Where the location
which one would that be?
Sixers and Flyers, downtown, like right in Center City. Like, do you like Center City arenas, downtown arenas?
I do.
Or do you like them out in the?
No, I like it right down the smack in the thick of things.
Yeah.
You know, but the way it's becoming, fellas, and we've seen this like with the Braves' new ballpark. These guys are building stadiums and creating an atmosphere around
They
it.
make the thick of things after they put
Absolutely.
the stadium in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's talk of if there's ever a stadium here that for the A's, and this is all just, scuttlebutt, rumor, speculation, they might put it out by the airport and then just, there's nothing out there. Well, we'll
build something out there.
Yeah.
Make that a
Have
destination.
a whole galleria
spot.
jumping out there fast.
Sort of like what they did, at Gillette Stadium in New England. Like Gillette Stadium is a good 35, 40 minutes from the actual city of Boston.
That's deep.
But Jonathan Kraft, Robert Kraft, they built shops there, outlets, like everything, restaurants, so that it's more than just coming to a football game and leaving.
All right. Thanks for being with us. Tomorrow, we'll answer more of these tough Kings questions, huh?
Yeah, who we got tomorrow? We got the G-Man, right?
Yes.
Is G-Man lined up for tomorrow? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the great Gary Gerald joins us. Hope you will too. Stick around for A's Baseball coming up next on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right, backwards pass